permission to play a little bit on the.
All right, we're live, brother.
Okay.
You're good. I mean, you can be.
All right,
You can. It's all right.
it.
It's all right. There's no rules out here. It's all right. It's all good. How are you, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing well. He's getting permission right now to see if we can listen to some music that's not released yet. So
that's my fault. Starting off great.
Maya, my man,
my dog,
dude. I am so excited to do this because, first of all, I love you and I look up to you, and you're very talented. And also, I just haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been like a year, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Since I think right when I moved in here.
Yeah.
But chat, let us know if the volume's all good, if you guys can hear us and everything. Just want to make sure. You might need to get just a little closer, or just move it closer to you. Get wherever you're comfortable. You know what I mean?
Chilling. I'm chilling.
Okay,
right
good. All right, cool. But yeah, introduce yourself to people that don't know who you are. Everyone should know who you are, by the way. But we're getting there. We're working on that.
Artist based in Portland, Oregon. You know, just chilling, man. That's it. So
this is good. Good energy drink.
Yeah.
So some natural energy drink we got here.
We need to holler at them.
Oh yeah, I mean, what's up?
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's talk business.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, man, I wanted to have you on for a multitude of reasons. You're such a positive, sweet dude that it just it inspires me to be a better person. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on, just to tap into your brain and try to figure out how you work and learn about your story. And I mean, I got some stuff prepared here if we need to go there, but I thought we could just wing it and just catch up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess one thing that I'm finding from doing these podcasts is that even like some of my longest friends of people I've known for a long time, there might be stuff that like I don't even know about you.
Right.
Like because when you hang out with people, you make friends with people, you stick to your common interests, and you don't always dig deep into somebody's like backstory.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, like I guess when did you decide that like music was like right for you? You know what I mean? Like because we both do music.
Right.
And that's another thing, too, that I think a lot of people don't know about me as far as people that listen to my music and follow me and stuff. They think it's all metal all the time. You know what I mean? And, like, you know that I listen to mostly hip-hop shit. Like, that's mostly what I'm into. Absolutely. I listen to metal, and I do the metal thing, but I really enjoy, you know, hip-hop music. It's probably my favorite genre of music. And I really like your music. I think you're the most underrated artist I've ever met, and I think you should be multi-platinum famous. But you know, we'll get there. It's fine.
I appreciate that.
But
bro. Thank you.
But yeah, I guess I just want to know kind of your story, how you got into, you know, how did you get into doing music, and we'll get into why it's hip hop later. But just maybe how did you start with music? Did you play an instrument? Did you?
I mean, it really started. I remember being a little kid, and like whatever dolls I used to, I don't know, random little like figurines and dolls, and I would just like set them up on my bed. My mom told me like I must have been, I don't know how old I was, but I would just like set them up on the bed and like perform for them, because at that time it was just like beats, like just perform like whatever my favorite song was as a kid. Like I love Whitney Houston.
Okay.
How Would I Know was one of my favorite songs as a kid.
Okay.
So basically, I guess I would set the figurines or whatever on my bed and put on a little concert
to like action
to
figures,
like little toys and
shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn.
Yeah.
How old were you? Maybe
I don't know. Might have been like 5 or 6, something like that. So then just fast forward,
performing out.
Yeah, just perform. I didn't know.
Where did that come? Where did this come from?
No
Where
idea.
did you see that? Were you watching music videos of Whitney Houston and watching her perform or something?
It always was on. Stuff was always on. So, you know, I just remember that song is when I was like a really little kid. My mom said that was like before I could walk, that was my shit.
Right. Whitney. Shout out
to Whitney. R.I.P. One of the GOATs.
R.I.P.
And yeah, just, you know, fast forward through years, it just kind of came to me. I remember one day I might have been like 15 or 16, like freestyling with a couple homies. I didn't really know what I was doing. Had no idea.
Right.
And I just realized that everyone in the room had stopped, and I was just...
And they were listening to you.
Yeah, and I kind of looked. I was like, what's going on? Because we had just got back from the skate park.
What age was this?
I was like 15 or 16. 15. Yeah.
And you had stayed kind of steady doing music the whole time then?
No, I didn't know it was what I wanted to do until like that day, like the first time I did it. Because I was kind of like writing stuff down, but didn't know. The first rhyme I ever wrote, I was like 11.
Okay.
And I think it was because...
Do you remember what it was?
No. But I'm sure it was horrible. I'm sure it was trash.
It was probably fire.
It was definitely trash.
You need to go through some hypnosis. You need to go to hypnosis and try to pull that memory out. Figure out what your first bar was.
It was. I know it was horrible.
Really?
I know it was horrible.
Okay.
Probably rhymed with my name or some trash shit like that. But yeah. So just fast forward. I just every morning I would kind of like be getting ready for school, just like saying a line here and there, and then that one day when I freestyle with my homeboys, like that was kind of it, and I didn't really do it yet. It wasn't until like later on that I was like, okay, I think this is what I want to do. I could see a future in this. I dropped out of college. It was like,
so just a complete like stop from when you were 5 years old performing for the action figures to when you just kind of like in your memory, you just remember that. And then you remember 15 at the skate park.
Yeah.
Nothing in between.
Yeah. No, like the 11, like writing a rhyme or whatever. And then fast forward. And then it was just like, okay.
Were you like listening to, what were you listening to when you were a kid?
Oh, man. I mean,
same shit we were all listening to when we were kids?
Yeah, exactly. Like, on BET and MTV, there's all, it was all sorts of stuff. Like underground stuff. Just everything that I heard, I soaked in.
And you're from here?
Yeah, I mean, originally Georgia, but this is home. Like,
okay. How long did you live in Georgia before you came here?
How long ago was that?
Not long.
Well, I'll just say this. This has been home since like 96.
Okay.
So I'm at this point I'm a lifer.
Right.
But yeah, man, that was really it. It just kind of stuck.
And then since 15, you've been writing, recording?
No. I didn't start recording until I was like 18. There was like a little crew. Actually, Ilmac was in this crew with me,
right?
And a couple other homeboys.
Actually, I don't know if I know about this, but I know that guy. I know that guy because you've done stuff with him.
Yeah.
On your albums.
So we were in this crew in high school, and that was when I first started recording.
Okay, 18.
Yeah, like 18. And then after high school, a little bit. Went through some stuff. It kind of like derailed a little bit. I really wasn't that confident. I was like, I'm just going to like.
So when you recorded that first thing, you weren't like. You weren't like,
I
this
knew
is
I could do it. Yeah.
Were you gassed up when you recorded the first
time,
thing?
Yeah.
Was
at the time,
you thought it was tight?
Yeah, I thought it was crazy because, I'm listening to like Big L and all
underrated.
Underrated
go.
Actually, yesterday, it was Big L day. But
was it? Was it his death day?
February 15th.
Yeah. He is awesome.
Insane.
If you don't know Big L,
look him up.
Look him up.
So just a lot of different like underground influences, and then that also goes in like to my rock influences because coming up,
which we're gonna talk about. This.
Oh yeah. So like just coming up in that era of
because you're about the same age as me.
Yeah.
30 something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so you came up listening to because that's the thing is you like emo music and like
all of it.
You were like part of that era too.
Yeah.
Which is dope. And I feel like that does come out. Hopefully people from this will go and listen to your stuff if they're smart. And no, they will. But and they'll hear like there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
this isn't your, especially with what's coming out. I feel like in modern hip hop, which I'm a huge fan of the all the different kinds of trap stuff, and I like my rap ignorant as well. I like some ignorant just banger tracks. You know what I mean? Which you've done a couple of those for fun. That are fun. Yeah. But you like to kind of sit in this. You're in your own world. You really are in your own world. And
I've
I know
tried
you're trying
to craft
to
it that way.
You have, and it's totally like when I was in the car the other night showing it. Me and my buddy were coming home from the bar or something, and I was like, this dude's my homie's gonna come on my podcast, and I put it on, and he was like, dude, this is like it. When people hear your shit every time, they're like, how have I not heard this before? What is this guy doing? What, you know what I mean? And it's like it's got like a profound thing when they hear it. And I'm not just trying to gas you.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
but
you've always.
But this is.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've
been on the top fans list since I met you.
No, for
which
real.
we should talk about that too, because that's kind of a funny story. Because I met you. So I was working at Mike Thrasher Presents, which for people that don't know, it's like the guy that he was like, I guess he's still, you know, the company still is. Rest in peace, Mike Thrasher.
Right,
but I guess you know, in the Portland area, he's kind of like the main production company that puts on like some of the bigger shows. And so I was working the front desk, like pushing paper basically in the office.
Right.
And but I was really good friends with the gal that would book like local showcases, and you guys, they did like a hip hop showcase all the time, and I would kind of scavenge like new local music, and for a minute there was some shit kind of popping off. I feel like it's for Portland has kind of just the COVID thing really dampened the music scene around here. You know what I mean? And not a lot of people are still doing things, you know, but there are some, but I don't want to completely shit on it, but it's like it needs work. It needs fixer upper.
And
but
it's always
right. It's always kind of been rough. We can go into that. I'm fine with it. But anyway, I met you because you were in a project that I still like T&E a lot, but you were working with another artist and doing kind of a collaborative thing called T&E. Yeah. And you were the E.
I was the E,
of course. And Taupe was the T. I don't know if that music's still around anywhere, but it is really good. And I mean, that stuff that your bars on some of the old shit, it's like someday when you get multi-platinum famous, people are gonna dig that shit up, and it'll be great. Like,
thank you,
but
man.
But you've done a lot of stuff, a lot of great stuff, better stuff since then. And it's like, but anyway, at that time, you were really kind of coming up, and you were opening a show for Zion I. Yeah, that's when I met you.
R.I.P. Zumbi.
Oh, I didn't know
he
passed away.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, crazy.
Everybody.
It's been a wild couple years. Also, shout out to G. Calvin Valentine. He's the third member of T&E, my brother for life.
Amazing producer.
Yeah, amazing producer, artist, instrumental, like all across the board.
So good.
He's the guy.
But anyway, and I met you, and we kind of hit it off right away, because I don't know if you remember, but I was working the door, so I was sitting at the podium, and that was kind of right next to the merchandise table where everybody had their merch set up. Zion and I had their merch set up, and you guys had already kind of played your set, and it was like between artists, you would kind of pop out and hang out there and see what was. Yeah, you were just chilling, and so you ended up kind of standing next to me. And we were watching, like, people watching, because we were kind of people watching, like, commenting on, like, there was little kids trying to sneak, like, a whole bottle of vodka in. They were like, oh, yeah, and you were just like, are you serious?
I mean,
we were just laughing at we were people watching, you know what I mean? But that's a fun little story. And then ever since then, we've been friends, and probably don't hang out as much as we should, honestly. I wish we would hang out more, but I wish that about a lot of people. So. But we'll work on that. Since then you put out so much stuff, and we did a song together actually since then.
Yes.
You called upon me, which was so dope. You were like, hey dude, you put the bat signal in the sky. Yeah. You were like, I need you to come and scream on a metal track, and I was like, shut up. Yeah. I'm done. Can we show that later?
Absolutely.
Did they say? Okay.
You got the updated version.
All right.
Right?
So that's the surprise. You sent it to me.
Cool.
Yeah, I have it. We're going to listen to a song later that I screamed on, and you actually screamed on it too. And you got some pipes on you.
Hey, I'm trying, bro.
Might be a metal side project in your future, bro.
I mean, let's go. That'll get to the money quick.
Oh, let's go. I don't know about that.
I know.
No, I don't know about that. But yeah, so why EP? I've always wondered this. I've never asked you this question.
Just the name in general?
Is it part of your name? What is your name?
So,
Maya. Your name is Maya.
Yeah.
It's not Maya Ep. That's your Facebook name.
Right. Which I never go on. I don't even know what's on there. Sorry if you've requested or messaged
it's all right.
anyone, you whoever.
Should get like an artist page going, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
But see, you're so anti-media. I like it though.
You know, it's
I know you're not about
it. Curse,
your energy would suck if you were all on it. Like everybody was on there too much.
Yeah,
we're all scrolling too much. So props to you.
It's already bad enough.
Props to you.
So basically, I was just thinking of names like back in high school, just would like write them, try to like, you know, bomb some shit, and I was, you know, horrible graffiti, so that didn't last long.
Oh, you were
some homies that were really like
doing some artwork.
Yeah, they could really burn some shit, but wasn't I? So that didn't last long. But I just kept on writing this name, and and there's like a other reason behind it, which I won't get into because it's way too cheese. Long story short,
you don't want to. Oh, come on! You can't. Oh, come on! What is it? The love life thing?
No, okay. I don't know what love is. I'm sorry.
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah, nobody knows what it is.
We're still trying to figure that out.
So yeah,
but anyway, so you were just kind of tagging it.
So I was just like, I would just be writing in the book or whatever
on your binder at school or some shit.
Everything, yeah, everywhere.
It was just so this kind of haunted you.
No, not really. So basically, I wanted to try and like flip it into something that meant something to me. I didn't really know at the time, but it stands for every person has purpose.
Oh,
I just took the H out.
That's deep.
And I mean, yeah, I don't know if it is.
It's fun.
It's fun.
I think it's pretty deep.
We'll say that.
I think it's cool. It's positive. It's a good message.
Yeah.
I love it. See, I don't think I've ever heard you. I don't think I've ever asked you about that.
Yeah, and I mean that's okay. Perfect time to ask now.
Right.
You know. So yeah, that was it, and ran with it, and I've almost changed my name a handful of times.
Why? Have you gotten like management people are like, it's not marketable, you need to change your name to something? Or
no, a lot of people have liked it because my whole thing was, I remember just seeing certain names on flyers and being like, damn, that's such a long name. Like, sometimes that might not look good. That was my thought process, at least.
Like on a flyer?
Yeah, on a flyer. I'm just like, I just want something short.
Which is funny because we changed our band name to something shorter.
And it's going crazy. So
it's a lot better.
Congrats.
Life is a lot better.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody.
I think shorter is the way.
It's the way. I was just talking to somebody about that. I was like, they changed their name, and they've gone crazy ever since. So
it's been a good couple of years.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better. But I don't think you should change your name.
Yeah.
Unless you want to change your name.
It's stuck.
Yeah, it's there.
I can't do it now.
I think I think it provokes when I'm like, yeah, I'm listening to this guy named Ep, or when you see it on the internet, you're like, what is that? Mm-hmm. It's like a little, because it's like it's even like bystander is like a word that everybody knows, right? But Ep is just, you're like, you want to figure that, what is this? You know what I mean?
And I think it actually, I forget, there's like a company, something with like piping or some company that I was like
hardware company.
No, for real. Like I remember years ago I tried to get it on my Twitter. I never could because this company had it. I'm just like, I don't. It's all good. Like I'll just run with whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess we can look that up at some point.
We could, I guess. Grumpy, look
Grumpy.
Grumpy. We need you. Look up Ep hardware or something. Try to find anything else of relevance that's named Ep, so we can send them a CDA.
Right.
So they can stop using your name.
Yeah, for real. It's costing me dollars.
Costing you dollars, yes. But so going back to when you were talking about like rock influences in your music and stuff like that, was there ever a time when you were thinking that you'd be more maybe in a band? Because since you did that, we know you did the action figure concert.
Yeah.
Back in the day, so you were always going to be the front man. Was there any other instruments? I guess we could start there. Did you think you were going to be a drummer maybe or a guitarist or anything else?
I wanted to be a drummer.
You wanted to be a drummer?
I wanted to be a drummer.
Me too, man. I tried for a long time.
I tried.
Too loud, too much physical skill.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't
do it.
I can't. I'm not devoted enough.
Yeah, that's
Drummers,
what it is.
Y'all are devoted out there.
Making beats, I can, but I'm not. It's the patience. I mean, I had
pay a professional.
Yeah. Not no, thank you. I remember my parents got me a red Casio keyboard, like a used one, when I was young, and I would always dabble on that. But I knew that I wanted to do something. I never knew if it was gonna be like a frontman of a band or a crew or whatever. I just knew as I got older that music meant so much to me. I also wanted to see if I can give something back. Not that sounds very arrogant, but no. In a sense of just like, this is what it does for me. Maybe I can share some stories and
which you have done just that. So
yeah,
but you knew at some point that you had to kind of go down the singer-songwriter lane.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that was when 18 when you were recording and shit. Kind of
that at that time it was just so fresh and new to me that like, all right, so here I am. Here's this like crew of dudes, and one of them is one of the world's best battle rappers ever. And
these people you're working with?
At the time, Ilmac and my other homies. Yeah, so that's when it kind of started. But again, that focus wasn't there. I wasn't as disciplined as I am now.
Which we'll talk about that too, because that's something that I'm jealous of. Is the work ethic for sure. But you knew from an early age that it was gonna be you with the mic in your hand.
It was gonna be something. Right. It was definitely gonna be something.
Did you ever try to be in a band? Or like did you ever have like a hardcore band or like a screamo band, an emo band?
There was a couple cats in high school that I was talking to, and we were trying to do something like that. But again, being a high school
it could always happen.
It could always happen. It's never too
late. You
can
sing. You got chops, and you can scream now. We know that you can scream now. We have evidence.
That. Damn, my eyes are going crazy. Allergies, bro.
Is it the cats?
No, not at all.
I'm sorry.
It's just 'tis the season.
Right.
It's all
it's all the season here.
Yeah, all the season. But yeah. I mean, it could happen. It's definitely something that I love, and I've always thought about and wanted to do, and people have talked about it, and I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. And now it kind of has led up to this Bathlete thing with
yes. Yeah. So are you very stoked on this new shit? Are we gonna listen to some of that? Not right now, but that's who you're asking permission for. Squatch says no. Not unless I'm there. He's all salty. No. Not unless I'm there.
Josh said, "Give the cheese, or I'm dropping it in the chat."
Oh look.
Oh, that's tight.
He's in there. Hell
that's
yeah.
Sick. Yeah. Hey, if you want to, you can definitely drop it in there.
But
yeah, we're definitely gonna hear some of that.
Yeah, we'll hear some music. We'll do a segment. But
sure.
But so what's going on with that? So now you're kind of doing your own thing with your homies now.
So my solo's done.
Right. Which is what I'm on.
Yeah, which is what you're on. I've been writing for a project with Calvin.
Oh, another project with Calvin.
Yeah. Been writing for a project with Trox.
You are such a hardworking man, dude.
But I just
you're sitting on so much music too.
Well, I do. That's the thing. There's a lot of music. You're
sitting on so much music.
But I mean, this Bathlete stuff, man. Well, first I'll introduce who Bathlete what it is. Yeah. So Bathlete is,
it's like athlete with a B.
Yeah,
in front of it, right?
Just for just relax, and just for the everyday average man who maybe he has a titty. Maybe he's not like the most in shape guy in the world. Like maybe he's just an everyday average guy.
But he's an athlete in some way.
In his own right.
Even if it's just laying around in his or her bath.
Yeah, his or her, their bath, like who's ever.
I love that.
Bathlete is for everybody.
So it's a very literal name.
Yeah, Bathlete is for everyone.
Okay, I love it.
So it's myself, Squatch.
Who is also awesome. He'll be on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, Zahn, McNatt, Torrance, Wild Mind, and a handful of other fools.
A crew
it's
of
a collective. It's a collective.
But there's a crew of like 5 of you guys are the main ones.
Yeah. Like the performance side.
Right. Okay.
And there's
features and stuff. But that's you guys as the 5. Are you guys on every song? All 5 of you on every song?
Say it'd be like, I'll do vocals. Squatch will do vocals. Zon will make a beat, or they'll all collab on a beat. In one way or another, we're all on the song.
Right.
And it started as just like wanting to do a collective of different type of artists just to see if we can do it. And there's like really been a brother and like sisterhood that's formed with all of the parties involved. And I'm like really proud of everyone. And I think it's just helped me step up as an artist. The production is crazy. I mean, I really feel like we're just setting up for something different without trying to be different. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think the advantage is high because the quality of the music speaks for itself. So
right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it.
Man.
So do you think you work better in that situation coming off of a solo album versus I know you have features, you have friends come on, but because I know from my experience, the metal thing can be kind of lonely, man. And it kind of can hurt motivation, creative juices for me because it's like, damn, I got to do all this on my own. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when I feel like when I think back to when I have worked in the studio with people, and I remember like doing the last time I think I did it was with you, and I was like, that was so much fun. We were in there for hours just having fun. It was dark when we left. Yeah. And it was like, it was so much fun, and the end product was so great. And I was like, man, like that was kind of like, for me, maybe like a taste of some thing that I don't normally have. You know what I mean? And before the last EP that we did, I used to record in a room by myself, and I would it was actually on this mic. Okay. I would record everything by myself and then send it to be mastered and stuff. Right. And then on this one, Garrett, you met Garrett, our drummer. He was like, I want to like work with you and like produce you and like I want to do engineer while you do it, make it easier for you or whatever. Right. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but it was nice because I had somebody else to be like, no, that was good, dude. Like because if it's me in a room, I'll just burn out on one part and I'll just go crazy about it because I can't get it to sound right. And it's like to have somebody. So even that much collaborative effort, you know what I mean? Just having somebody engineer me was different for me. Yeah. So I feel like, I feel like in metal, basically what I'm trying to say is like, we don't work with other artists enough. I feel like, you know what I mean? And it's like so much. You kind of have to be on your own. Like every album's a solo album, right? With one or two features, maybe. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Whereas, like, so do you think that comparatively, do you think that you work better or worse, or how is it different? You know what I mean? With working with five, because you going from working with just you being in charge of the project, being the solo guy on your album that we did, to working with five dudes, right? Or and is there a woman in there too? Yeah. So four, Kaylee. So all different people, 5 different people. You know what I mean?
Crazy. She's like, there's like official members of Bathlete, but once her music gets to the world, it's over. She's crazy. I'm ready. I honestly I love my sessions, even with my solo stuff. I like having a couple people around, not like 30 or 40.
You have like your guitarist homie that was around.
And Wild Mind. Yeah.
What was his name again?
Josh.
Josh. That's
yeah. Shout out Josh. So he wants the cheese. That's
hell yeah. Yeah. What's up, bro?
And it's always cool having a couple loved ones in there in the session, and then when we do the crew stuff, we'll go get a cabin, 2 or 3 days, make some songs, come back.
How many can you get done in 2 or 3 days? What's the most?
The most we've done is 12.
12? Yeah. In like 3 days?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're an animal.
Me and Squatch, early birds,
oh, that's
baby.
Easy.
You
and Squatch is cheating.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it's cheat codes.
It's cheat codes.
But wake up early and kind of wait. And then it's go time, we'll stop, take a break. It's all natural. Nothing's ever forced with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's the best policy for a collective of people working together, is just not forcing it, and it really being a family thing. Because these are like really people that I spend time with outside of music.
You've done a lot of shows with some of these people too. Like I've seen you and Squatch do sets a lot.
Yeah,
you know what
like
I mean?
The last
showcases and
yep.
Yeah, you guys played more shows together 2019 than you played at alone.
Well, maybe 2018
or 28, whatever.
Yeah, the year. I don't know anymore what the year.
What is
mean.
the year? Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like we've been in a time capsule or something.
For real, it's crazy.
But you think you work? It's just different. You can't say one is better than the other as far as collaborative versus solo.
Yeah, I mean,
some people are control freaks, bro.
No,
with their music.
Yeah. No.
Especially in metal too, dude.
Oh yeah.
The guitar guys, the fucking
it's toxic.
The solo guitar guys, and they go, "Why can't I find a band?" You know what I mean? I have such good music. I have the best music, and I compose everything.
Right.
And I write everything, and it's all my idea. Why can't I find 4 other guys to deal with my shit?
Right.
Like there's so many of these guys out here. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's
like a producer guy that like, why can't I find a vocalist to do you know raps over my beats?
Only wants to use
Yeah, and then he's like, I want to, I don't like this bar. Change it. And you're just like,
right.
Why did you ask me to come here in the first place?
Which, I mean, hey, sometimes, now it goes from being the overly possessive, it's all me guy to like constructive criticism, which is cool if you're like, hey, this line, this and that, which I'm all for. I'm like, cool. Like I could do that different. I've also been in those sessions, and that's weird.
I feel like, do you think maybe that? Would you say most people you work with are open to constructive criticism?
Absolutely.
And kind of and I wonder, I would love to. I mean, and that's the other reason I kind of wanted to bring you on too, to kind of like talk about similarities and differences between what we do, because we do 2 very different styles of music, but there's all these similarities and there's differences, and so I think what another difference is like. I think that a lot of headbutting goes on in the metal scene, and most people, whether it's like in the band together, they're butting heads on shit. We do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to sometimes to set your ego down and be like, and listen to everybody else or whatever, because you got 5 dudes you're working with, you know what I mean? That have opinions that matter. And then you've got, I feel like a lot of people, they don't want constructive criticism. In like the metal, like they say they do and think but they do, but then when they get it, they get offended.
They just want you to be a yes man. At the end of the day, that's it.
Yeah, they want you to kind of tell them like how great it is, constructively.
Yeah, yeah. You can't be like, I think you could have done this. It needs to be like, oh man, this is great. And
they're like, give me your honest opinion, and you're like really nice to some people about this. And I was talking to Keem about this. I
was just gonna say,
I was on the podcast. And he was like, so I tell people like really nice, constructive criticism, and they go, who do you think you are? You know what I mean? And it's like, and so I think that's a big difference, and that's why you have these works of musical art that like when you look at the hip hop game generally, nobody's doing all their own shit. Maybe J. Cole. Or like even he probably has a lot of hands touching his shit. Everybody's got.
I write all my own shit. I don't know about some of these motherfuckers.
I guess, but I mean, you write your own maybe lyrics, and your own parts. But I'm talking about the beats, it's a collaborative effort at some level.
Absolutely,
and that's how a lot of the best music is produced. You know what I mean? And it's like, but with us, it's not always that way. And it's just so different with the metal shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, and it does happen in hip hop a lot because there's a lot of people I've had. See, I'm not even gonna say names.
No.
But
they know who they are.
You get hit up about certain things, and you do them. Because you love this art that we're fortunate enough to do, and then also B, sometimes it can pay the bills,
right?
If
you have a good song,
yeah. So, I think that to the people who can and do it all their own, that's great.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, but those people are like prodigies.
Yeah.
And they exist, and I don't know who they are because I'm not educated enough. Maybe you could tell me a few.
I don't know.
I don't know. But you look at somebody like Drake. It's always gonna be 10 hands, and I'm not saying for his lyrics or whatever, you know what I mean, or like. But there's a lot of people, and I think that's cool. I don't think there should be much of a pride thing for me. Like with the new bystander shit, I'm pushing, and me and a couple of the other members are pushing to like I want songs ghostwritten. Like you're never gonna know who did it, but I want the best people in metal to be ghostwriting metal song. Like, I don't have pride personally.
Yeah.
I think if you look at some of the best music, in a lot of it is produced with a lot of different people's creative opinions and juices on it. And I think that the idea that you can't do that, otherwise, you lose some kind of pride. Yeah. It's, it should be do whatever you want. That's what it should be.
It should be. And at the end of the day, I mean, coming from the
I don't mean lyrically, by the way. Not ghostwriting lyrically. I'm always handling my own lyrics.
Yeah.
Or me and one of the band members will work on lyrics together. But like, I'm talking about like the music for us.
Yeah.
So it'd be like somebody writing a beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is not even allowed or thought of as to be allowed in what we do. Like, you can't have somebody write a like, oh, the band didn't write this song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why nobody can know. But you know what I mean?
Crazy.
But there's people. The best albums that I love were written by some other guitarist guy.
Exactly.
So, and you know what I mean?
But at the end of the day, shouldn't that be the most important part of the product? Is like the music being good?
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck who wrote it. I mean, I do.
Right.
And I don't. You know what I mean?
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to find out stuff.
Sure.
I'll be looking at those credits.
Right.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you want a good product. You want people to enjoy it, and that should be what matters. Because that, what else are we doing it for? If it isn't to make ourselves feel good and make other people feel good.
And
so
write shit you want to scream on or rap on or whatever. You know what I mean?
And if that means that so and so had a hand in it, cool, pay him, call it a day, and it's all good. Like,
you offer constructive criticism on your beats, or do you just get like a pile of beats and you're like, I like this one, I don't like this one, I like this one, I don't like this one, or are you like, change the snare here, it depends, put a sample here, and
it depends. Like for instance, like Zahn and I, we work really close together, and like we work just so good. And it's never like this is. I can honestly say the man's never made a bad beat in my eyes.
Right.
But like, I could just be like, oh, add this, add that. I'll even beatbox stuff, and he'll just quick, like super quick. Yeah, like fast.
Like Shazam?
He's crazy. He's crazy. Like, I'm not gassing. This is not just because he's family, but even if he wasn't.
It's like a guitarist that you can be like, dude, play a bow down, bow down.
Also, that happens.
And then the guitarist's like, oh, you mean this right here?
Yeah.
He's like the same way with the keys and
the
beats.
It'll be like Zahn, Wild Mind, Parker. I could be like, oh, do this. And they're just like, oh, like that? I'm like, exactly.
Yes.
And then I'll just start writing, and then,
Do you think you'll perform Bathlete with a live band? Ever?
I mean,
would you ever perform with a live band?
They are the band.
They are the band. Okay, the vocals are the band. Okay.
Yeah, they are the band because they can. Yeah. So
no.
Yes. No. Yeah. So we did a show at Holocene
live DJ.
In November. Yeah, we did a show at Holocene in November.
I was on tour, otherwise I would have been there.
Right. Which you guys seem to crush, by the way.
We did okay.
You did all right.
We did all right for the first one, the neck breaker.
It's gonna
the fucking Live Fast and Die Hard tour.
Hey, the bicycle is gonna keep
going. The Eat Shit and Die tour.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
But yeah, so like Leo was up there on keys, McNatt was on keys, and Torrance was doing like visuals. We had like animations and everything, and yeah, man.
Let's go.
We can.
So it's basically
all
it's like what were those shows that we were going to at Kelly's? The Thesis. The shows that where there was like visuals, but I mean obviously tailored towards the music more.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying it looks something like that where there's like a projector, visuals like that.
It's no, I'm just gonna say no.
Okay,
nothing like that. But
what do they got, the rave gloves?
No. But it's definitely an experience, and especially for our first one to have a good turnout, we just wanted to try some stuff.
Right.
And it, obviously the panini is still very real. So it's just like
working. It's out there.
So it's like we can't just, we're just going to go book the next show right now. It's unfortunately doesn't work like that.
Especially not around here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, but yeah, man, we're definitely hyped about what we're working on. And I think once this EP drops, I think people.
Is there a date yet or no? Still
no date. Very soon.
You guys you're a slow cooker.
Yeah,
you and all your friends are slow. You're slow cooking.
Oh man, it's
brisket. It's brisket all day long.
It's brisket.
It takes love and time.
Put some shrimp
to
in
get
that
the flavor
John.
to get some flavor on it.
And it doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't even take that long. It's just
it's the refining process.
Exactly. There's a whole thing going on in the kitchen.
It has to be filtered.
Has to be
has
right.
to run through the rocks. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be right. No trash is allowed to seep through the cracks. So,
when did you going back in time a little more? When did you like play your first show, like ever? Like when was the first time you grabbed a mic, and did you feel like okay, this is it, this is me? You know what I mean? Like because I can remember the first time I did it. I don't know if I felt that way.
Yeah,
but I felt, I don't know, good. I can't remember. Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember where it was. It was at the time, I think it was called the B Complex.
Is that the skate park thing?
No, that's
I'm thinking of something else.
Or that I don't remember what that's called.
Next to Blackbird Pizza. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's called Complex. Right?
This was so okay. You know where Andy and Bax is?
Yes.
There was a venue, like if you went up one block and turned to the right, it was a little venue. Think of Satyricon, but just like a little bigger. And
did you ever go to shows there?
All the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
So sick.
R.I.P. Satyricon.
Yeah, it was tight. That was a cult. That was like a culture that we'll never probably see again.
Never.
We'll never have the same thing that went on in that building.
Horrible sound.
That didn't matter.
Horrible stuff. It didn't matter.
Everything.
It was a feeling.
It was just it was a time and place thing.
Yeah, it really was. You truly had to be.
Anyway,
there.
So you play a show. What is the show? Is it your show?
It was myself and the crew I was in at the time, and
headliner first show.
No, we were
opening.
We were opener. And it was just crazy. It was like the preparation for it. I think that was the biggest nerve-wracking thing for me.
People overdo it with the prep.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something I find nowadays, like, it's like you can't overdo it with the prep.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Yeah. I mean, you reach a point to where you overcook it, and then now just you're thinking about the performance too much instead of just going in
and feeling it. Yeah, you don't feel it anymore.
Exactly.
Now it's not there.
Now it's turned into. I mean, though it's a job,
right?
But it's turned into a job.
I feel like you got to make sure you're always just like jamming and having fun.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the business. We all know the business side of everything,
right?
But yeah, you want to make sure you're having fun with it. And I remember it being fun. I don't remember too much about it, but it was just crazy being like, one day you're in this. You're in your room, your small room, performing for some
action figures,
figurines,
Whitney Houston,
and singing Whitney Houston songs, and then now you're like,
and then you graduate
18.
to just a couple people in the room,
yeah,
and then you play for full crowds,
and then you play for full crowds, and it's like, I guess this is what I do. You drop out of college, you're like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do,
right?
And here we are.
There we go. I dropped out of college too, so. Dropout gang.
No disrespect.
No,
and
in
no
fact,
disrespect.
I have to tell people this often when I talk about college, and the way that I talk about it is like, I say I would never go to college.
Yeah.
And people are like, fuck you, I went to college. You know what I mean? But it's not like that. It's like I respect like people that go to the military and like serve, and like that's hard work and it's crazy. I could never imagine doing it. And I remember I went to PCC. I went to college, Portland Community College, for like a semester or whatever. And I was like, oh, they want me to do high school again for like an undisclosed amount of time, 4 to 8. They want to do
for monies.
Yeah, and I have to pay for it.
And I have to pay for it.
And the teacher bossed me around one time and was like, "You need to be here on time." And I was like, "Oh, honey." Oh, sweetheart. I did not just pay for this. I did not just pay for this. I'm going to go smoke pot in the woods right now.
Yeah.
And so I went out and smoked pot in the woods. And I used to do other stuff in the woods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I started a business in the woods, okay? My first business. But no, it's like, that
I remember that.
I was an
business.
entrepreneur. Yes.
Yeah, you were.
I was.
You still,
at an early age.
are.
I'm still out here.
Yeah.
But, I'm still out here failing left and right and learning. You know what I mean?
Learning. It's all a part of it.
But no, I couldn't imagine doing that. Like that takes a lot of like resilience and discipline and strength mentally.
Yeah.
To wake up and go to class and do your fucking work. I could barely get through high school doing that.
Dog.
And so if you can go to college, fucking shout out to you.
Honestly, yeah, a lot of my friends are very just great people who
academics
went through it. They did it, and
yeah.
Shout out to them. That's amazing. But man,
and a lot of the people that I went to my buddies that went to college, were kind of like at the same level in life though. That's the outcome ended up the same. About most of them, you know what I mean? Just
that happens. That happens.
It's all with what you're passionate about. We're passionate about shit that doesn't pay,
right?
Until way later,
right?
And you got to get really good at it.
Yeah. Yep.
But so you played that first show. Now, is there a time when you played like a show recently where you felt like, because dude, I got to be honest with you, like right now, you get me on stage, it's a problem. I am after that tour.
Yeah.
Oh man, I am marinated right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could go right now. I could do a show right after this.
Yeah.
I could headline for sold out crowd and I would just destroy.
Yeah.
Just in my sleep. Like that's because when you're practiced,
it's 10,000 hours.
When you're practiced, it's just like,
right.
Oh, man, I feel I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Even when you're not ready, you're ready.
I feel good like the entire time.
Right.
Like there's no nervous. It's gone.
Yeah.
Any shred of that. I mean, I was kind of there before. I played shows for like 10 years now. So that was kind of,
right.
I was there before tour, but after, I've never had something like that where it was every night, working every night.
Yeah.
Like, did you have a show recently at all, or like maybe your Bathlete show? Were you feeling like, well, maybe not because you were doing new stuff at the Bathlete show, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But maybe before then, is there any sets that stick out where you were like, man, I'm on fire. I killed it. This is what I do.
Honestly, there's been a lot, and there's been a lot of bad ones.
I mean, I just asked because a lot of people are overly critical of themselves. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's been a handful of shows where I'm like, all right, we destroyed that.
Right.
And,
oops.
Oops. Actually, I'm not even gonna say who it was, but it was a big act. It was a big act that
you were
open for. This is a T&E era.
Oops.
And
I am sure
the main support, it didn't go well.
Oh,
I remember they walked around. They were very visibly upset, and we shut that shit down.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I don't.
Oops. Sorry.
I don't care.
No, that's and to be honest, you're coming to my city and I'm opening up for you. This is my territory.
Yeah.
They didn't put me on the show to be shitty.
We shut it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, those moments, I love those because, I mean, even with the first Bathlete show, it was
we're coming out of COVID. Stuff's different.
Yeah, it's way different.
Really weird and different.
I had my wind right. Like, it's been a while. I'm not in the same shape, but it's like whatever. Well, we gotta
get our reps up.
Yeah.
We gotta get in the gym. Let's go.
Yeah. But it still felt great. I mean,
I bet. I remember my first show after COVID.
It's nuts, bro.
Those 2 years felt like 10.
Dude, I remember a show I did before everything really shut down, like right before, and it was just like, oh yeah, this is not good. Like, I mean, I did good, and it was solo stuff. It was for the last record. This was at
just wasn't
Doug
promoted
Fur.
well.
Oh. I mean, it was
See, how did I not go to that? What was I doing?
I don't know. It was September 2019.
Okay.
And it was just kind of a wash moment. It was a wash moment, just like, okay. But then everything shut down, and it was like, all right, I really want to get back to just
in that creative mode.
Yeah, just in that mode. And so fast forwarding to November, just the amount of people that showed up was my biggest surprise.
Good?
No, it was good.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah,
okay.
It was good.
But you feel like you didn't do as well as you could have?
I definitely didn't do as well, just from a couple standpoints.
Like,
but
what
overall,
are your standpoints?
like,
I was going to ask.
Yeah,
like, what do you grade yourself?
It's
how
I rate
tired
myself
you get?
Like, yeah,
stamina.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, and your fella start really enjoying food during the pandemic.
Guilty.
So
I think everybody's on that level, bro.
Some people are really in good shape and.
I mean, I thrived, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I thrived in other areas.
Yeah, I think a lot of people succumb to the food.
Oh, I definitely.
Because I'll tell you the one thing.
I don't even care.
Food didn't start tasting any worse unless you caught the shit.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah,
I think food just started tasting better and better.
Right.
During the panini, so
that's crazy.
No, but so you just weren't in performing shape that you wanted to be in.
Yeah. And you know, and that's.
But you're not missing words or anything.
No. I mean, there was a couple, but at the same time, it's
nobody
just
notices that shit.
Right.
I don't think.
Right.
Unless you're falling over like Vince Neil or some shit.
Right. But it's important to me to make sure that I'm sharp in that area, you know. And
it's not fun if you're just catching air the whole time.
Right,
trying to catch your breath the whole time.
Yeah, it's not fun. There's a couple moments like that, but overall, we shut it down.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I can't believe I wasn't there.
It's all good. There's more.
I know. I must have been busy because the Doug Fir. You at the Doug Fir sounds like something I wouldn't miss.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't know what the deal was. Yeah, maybe it was sold out. Was it?
It was not.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
No, it was not.
No excuses.
But it's all good. But yeah, man. I'm just really excited for what's to come, and yeah.
What's have you made, so with the Bathlete stuff, this might be it, but have you made a piece of music recently where you were like, because like with the last couple songs I recorded for the previous, you know, album and some of the stuff I have written for this new stuff that's coming up for BYSTANDER, like, and maybe it's just a natural musician thing where the newest, latest shit we're working on, you should be probably hyped on it.
Yeah.
But I listened to some of that and I'm like, I'm fucking proud of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there something that you've released that's already out that you feel like that about, or is it mainly just stuff that's about to come out that you've been? Because you're sitting on like so much. How many songs do you think you're just sitting on that are completed?
Well,
100?
Not that many. Nah, I mean, not that many, but
tens.
A lot of tens. Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, you know, the recent singles, I feel great about those. The Bathlete stuff's coming out first before my album.
Okay.
That's the focus right now. And yeah, I feel really good. I'm like very proud of the songs.
It all sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
so.
I'm hyped to show you. I'm hyped to
monumental. Like, yeah, it sounds great.
Thank you, bro. Yeah. I appreciate
that. So, but you're that's where you're at right now with the stuff you just released. You're just like, I'm proud of that shit. You listen back to it and you're just like, yes.
Every song I do, I'm proud of, because you're not gonna hear the ones I'm not proud of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that not everyone, everyone has those songs really don't like as much, and that's okay. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect people to like,
especially when you're doing stuff for a label. It's kind of like we just kind of have to get songs out.
Yeah,
we owe these people songs.
And also, it's like I want to get,
which you don't want to be too much like that, but it's like sometimes it's hard not to be when you're
quality
like,
control.
I need to give them a song.
Yeah, it's a quality control thing. And
you think people over listen to their own shit, basically, like when they're like psych themselves out about it sometimes. You know what I mean?
I've done that in the past.
I have too.
One thing I've really learned about my next solo and the Bathlete stuff is just like spending time, weeks,
put it away,
not listening to it until it's like, we're getting, like new mixes, new mixes back, stuff like that. I'll listen to it, but like as far as like running the whole EP, I try not to do it super often,
right?
Unless there's like notes that need to be taken or something like that. But yeah,
you do the same thing with other people's shit, so you're not listening to too much outside influence too.
When I'm working on stuff, I try not to listen too much unless it's like for references,
right?
But like when the project's done, then I'll get back into like listening to everything that I missed.
Yeah. Like all like new releases from bigger artists
right.
is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like metal people do that too much, where we're like there's a lot of metal people that are like, "Did you hear this from that band?" And I'm just like,
"No,
I can't listen to everyone else's shit, man."
Right.
Like you don't like I'm
trying to do my own.
I'm trying to keep some like love for metal up. I can't get burnt out on like metal shit with everyone else's shit.
Right.
I got to listen to some rap or some country, something else that separates me from what I'm doing here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it isn't like, you know, there's a handful of artists that when they come out, I'm like, yeah, of course.
It sounds like
listen to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but besides.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, just to check. But
Kendrick or something.
Definitely not Kendrick.
Are you not a fan of Kendrick?
Definitely not Kendrick. Dude,
I'm like right there with you, man. I'm hot takes. Hot takes. I'm sorry.
It's Schoolboy for me.
Oh, Schoolboy's
all day.
fire.
There's
Schoolboy's fire.
There's a handful of reasons why that is, but it's Schoolboy for me.
Yeah. You got to hear that. You got to hear that when it comes out.
Whatever he drops, I'll check for instantly.
Yes.
Whatever Dodge drops, I'm checking for instantly.
Oh, Dodger's awesome.
Not just because I love her and that's my sister, but like, you know, I gotta pay attention. Like I said, there's a handful of artists.
She's an absolute creative genius.
Like for real genius.
Yeah.
Like for real genius.
So good.
But yeah, you know, besides that, it's just like, okay, when it's work time, I kind of try to
dial it back.
Yeah, dial it back just a little bit.
I think that's important.
Yeah, it is. I think that's how you keep your style.
I think people can't control their love for the genre sometimes.
Right.
Whether it's hip hop or metal.
Yeah.
Like you just love it so much that you decided you're going to pick up a guitar, you're going to start writing metal riffs, or you're going to pick up a mic and pick up a pen and start writing rhymes. But you love it so much that you're consuming it all the time while you're trying to do it. Yeah. And I feel like that can kind of cross wires sometimes, maybe. And then your shit ends up sounding like too much like somebody else's shit.
Exactly.
And then you're in a pickle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not the good kind.
No.
What do you do? Like you into anything right now besides music? I know you used to skateboard, or you still sometimes skateboard.
It's been a very long time.
Been a while.
I mean, I still love it. You know, I still watch stuff. You know, I mean,
you're like the guy that's got like the skate videos. You're about the skate videos.
I still have a lot of skate videos.
Yeah. Do you stay up? You stay up on the new ones that come out?
It'll like pop up some. You know, I'm a YouTube head. I'm a tube head.
Right.
For real.
Okay.
So you know, a lot of stuff will pop up, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta check this out. There's I can't remember the name, but there's this dude on eBay who sells like old VHSs and DVDs, and I'm like, I haven't purchased from him at all, but the temptation has been high for like,
because he's got some skate CDs and DVDs, like the old girl videos and shit.
Yeah, he's got some shit like photosynthesis. Like
I can't remember the names of them, but I remember back in the Zoomies days.
Oh,
go in there, get a tape or something, get a DVD. But what else are you into, man? What else are you like into besides music? There's got to be something else, or are you just doing music all the time?
I mean, I'm constantly writing. You know, just trying to.
How do you stay motivated? Is a better question.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Because you're always. That's the one thing I like to do on the podcast. I like to bring on people that work way harder than I do, and try to figure out. Because I'm still trying to grow as a person, and there's a laundry list of shit I want to do. This was one of the things I really wanted to do, so I'm fucking doing it.
Right.
I'm trying to do it every Wednesday.
And congrats to you
until it pays me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really trying. And then the photography thing, like I have so much photos. I have a pile of photos I need to edit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? From a year ago to now, and it's like the music thing. I've got songs I need to write. It's like I have so many fucking piles of shit that I need to sort through.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to learn from people that I feel like work way harder than me. You know, that's part of the podcast for me too, is like learn like strategies
from each other.
Yeah. How do you stay on the grind? Cause you're always grinding. Like you're always going, what are you doing, man? Going to a session, you know what I mean? Or like you're booked and you're always going to the studio doing stuff, and you have a pile of finished music unreleased, you know what I mean? And so it's like, how do you stay motivated and excited about it and creative?
The main reason I stay motivated is for all the people who are no longer here with me personally. People who at the start of my music, you know, expression were there.
Right.
And
inspired you.
Yeah, and inspired me, and just always like, you know, yeah, you should do it. Like, you should do it. I do it for that. I do it. I love to do it.
Right.
You know? It's gotten me through so much just in general. And just being a fan of the art form.
Right.
And I feel like I'm at a point to where if I never made music again, or I can say that, I know that there will never be a point where I'm retired.
It just sounds weird to say,
you know. And
if I never made music again.
Yeah, I can't even. You know, I just love it so much, and I just think about all the people who maybe they have a voice but they're not sure how to use it. Right. So I want to like encourage those people to like, yo, like just give it a shot. You can really do it. You can take it to wherever you want it. You know,
right.
Good
I
or
always
bad.
try to be encouraging, man.
Yeah, and that's something I've always tried to like push, not like over the top in my music, but just I want people to like hear me and be like,
it gets
okay,
cringy when you're too motivated.
Yeah. Like
you can do it, nothing to it. You can't.
No,
you can't just rap posy bars all the time.
Because you're gonna have your
you have
bad
to write
days.
real. You have to write real shit.
It's just real. Yeah, my music is. I always want my music to be relatable, and I always want someone to be able to take something from it.
Right.
Because if not, then what's the fucking point?
That's something that I've been really working on lyrically too.
Yeah.
Is like with the new Bystander shit, like if you go look up the lyrics, like if you go look up the lyrics to some Bystander shit and then you go back to Sisyphean shit and look up lyrics to that, you will see like
it's a lot of growth, man.
Well, you will just almost for me though, and what we are trying to do with Bystander, it's growth, but it's almost a de-evolution. Mm-hmm. Cause like I need to go dumber and more raw and more real and talking shit. I'm talking shit. I'm saying some real shit. You want to find out how I really feel about shit? You go read that. That's how I feel. Because with metal, it gets so far away from. With hip hop, I feel like it's all supposed to be from the heart, real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but with metal, it's kind of like sometimes you feel like you have to over articulate stuff, and like I guess it's the same thing with hip.
It's the same.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing as like, you know, somebody who's really like more. And I think we've talked about this before. Somebody who's super thesaurus with their raps. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Immortal Technique. There is a lane. There is a lane.
I'm glad you said that name instead of the one I thought you were going to say.
What?
I'm not going to say it.
Oh, okay.
He's not paying us. It's cool.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. But but yeah, people that are super like looking for big words, trying to sound smart, trying too hard. And like, that's something that I always did. And I thought I had to do it. I thought that was part of the metal playbook that you have to, and really nobody paid attention to what I was saying until I just started writing fuck you shit from the heart and just saying how I really felt. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's something I'm working on too, you know, constantly trying to be like, just speak directly to, you know, through the music.
It's the best way.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the best way. I just think that, you know, and going back to that, what you said about, just being extra wordy, I think that's something at least that I've experienced from like the hip hop community and like cats that I came up with. We were all like very wordy and very like trying to, you know,
right.
And then as you get older and progress, you're just like, it just has to be genuine.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you're saying if it's not genuine.
And I feel like a lot of that stuff's been done well in the 90s.
Very well.
In the 90s, they already like did all that well. Like,
very
like,
well.
You got to be true to yourself at this point in order to stick out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a hip hop, you know, scholar, but
neither am I.
But I like shit from all eras, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely not into overly, you know, super thought out. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not going to describe it.
You kind of want your raps to suck when you listen to them. You want your people to suck a little bit.
I want them to like have this.
You don't want them to be good.
I want them to have that. No, I do want them to be good. Like you're really good. But the thing is, it's like you almost have to be good at both. You just have to get your point across in a way that people can understand. I feel like
good
without,
at the dumb down.
Without not too dumbed down all the time, but like, you know what I mean? Without having to try to, I don't know, like, you know, look up, get a dictionary to
read. But also tell the fans to geek the fuck up. Like, be smart fans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Do whatever you want to do.
Do whatever you want to do.
Do whatever feels right. Do what's natural. But I feel like some people do stuff that's not natural, right? They're going up looking for a better word to put here that's more smarty pants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to sound for the sake of doing it, rather than that's not their actual. That's not a word they would actually say.
And you can feel the disconnect. Like certain, there's been a handful of like more popularized artists that have. I'm just like, okay, I get the cadence, but like the stretch was crazy.
What do you mean by that exactly?
I just mean like they could have just simplified that, what had the same impact lyrically. To where some more people could understand, but at the same time, like, yeah, just geek up, just nerd up a little bit,
look up the word,
or just listen and stop saying, oh, the beat's cool, and but because then you also have those type of fans where they don't care what you're saying as long as the music sounds good.
And I can be both. Yeah, I think I can be both fan. I can be a fan of each. It's just kind of it just needs to be genuine. I feel like you know what I mean. Whatever you're doing has to be genuine. All right, so what's your process like? Like when you, because for me, what I've been doing recently is, it seems like I write more like before, and I just kind of have some stuff ideas that I've written out, and then I'll pick which songs I want to put that to. I think I used to maybe, it just seems situational for me for each song, where it's like, it just depends on the track, but sometimes I'll be writing for a song directly. Like I'll just get the song and I'll start writing to it. And then other times I'm listening to the song and I look at my bank of stuff I've written, all my different ideas, and I'll pick something from there. Like, do you have like a way, are you like the same way on everything? You have a system, or
my system definitely
just get
is
scoot a little closer. Oh, you're good.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
My system's definitely. I really love being in the studio or around like when beats being made. I'm not good at home just sitting with the beat. I mean, I can do it.
Well, okay, so you got to be there.
It's not like I have to be there, but
from birth, from conception,
from conception of the idea. I'm just like, I hear the beat. If I like the beat when I start humming like a hook or a bridge, because that's what I've
seen you do
first.
This before.
Yeah,
I've seen you do this before.
So say that happens, I can bring that home because now I got the idea for it. And I will write a couple ideas down, and then I double work myself. Because I don't usually keep all the ideas. So just sometimes it's memory, sometimes it's a little like scattered and just like placing stuff.
You'll just freestyle on stuff too, and then that'll be also the permanent part.
Yeah, I also I'll do that a lot of the times where we'll just freestyle something that makes sense and then save it. But yeah, I really just like being there for those moments. Sitting at home with the song, unless I can do it if it's a feature.
I get what you're saying now. So you don't want the track at home by yourself. It's not the same energy.
It's not. Yeah, it's not even necessarily that. It's just when the idea is there, I like to get that idea out. That way, it's like, okay, cool. I got this idea out. I don't really like this. I can move this around, and then boom. So it's like I got the sketch. Right. I got the sketch, I got the pencils, I got everything. Now I just need to like put it all down and make the picture make sense.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe I could try like being there for when the stuff's getting written more.
I mean, it might help.
It might help a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, just to see what could happen.
I also think it goes back to that like what I was saying about metal. Doing vocals on metal stuff can be kind of lonely,
right?
It kind of maybe that'll fix up some of that, which I've been talking about. We've been talking about doing. My drummer was recently like, you should come to these sessions and stuff, and I should be there more. So there's not as much of a like detachment from because maybe that's what you feel. You feel like it when you're listening to the song at home. You said unless it's a feature, you're feeling like detached from the process.
A
little bit, maybe.
It's kind of just like, I'm just like, I mean, it gets done regardless, but I just love being fresh on the idea, in the process, in the moment.
How do you think you became such a good lyricist? Do you like read a lot? You do a lot of reading? Because your lyrics, like we were talking about, they're not smarty pants lyrics, but you're an intelligent rapper. That's why I love you. That's why I love you though, because it's not like what we were talking about, the negative side of being too thesaurus, too purposely wordy. It's very genuine and very you.
Right.
And it sounds like you to me when I listen to it.
Right.
And it's like, but it is, you have a balance about your music where it's like, it gives you kind of everything. It's accessible while still being intelligent. You know what I mean? And so it's like,
that,
yeah. But so it's like, what, you know, how do you, I guess you just kind of speak from the heart. You know what I mean? Like
that's really what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's there's been a lot of songs where I'm talking about what I've been through. There's some songs on this EP where I'm talking about like very specifically a relationship.
Oh, yeah, I remember that song.
You know, and that song's crazy.
They're all crazy, honestly.
But have you heard that song?
I think so. Yeah, I think you said. I think you showed it to me.
Show you that song?
I don't know. Is it a Bathlete song?
It's a Bathlete
I thought it was on your solo thing because you showed me that whole album. And I don't remember everything because it was a long time ago.
Right, it was a while ago.
And it probably all sounds a little different now. Even
I just ran the album the other day. It still sounds pretty good.
We're gonna listen to some of it, and then we're gonna listen to even more of it later by ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But so you think it just kind of comes from, you know, over time, I guess, as you're trying to grow your lyrical ability, you know, do you think that just comes from continued practice or?
Yeah, it's those 10,000 hours. I really worked at it, you know, because if I didn't take that aspect of it serious, I wouldn't be in these positions right now. I wouldn't be in positions where fools are like, hey, I want to talk
to you about this.
Exactly. We want to have you in the session or we want to book with you.
I'll have you on the show. Yeah, or whatever.
Exactly. Because people can see that and be like, oh, they don't care. You can see when people don't care.
It's genuine.
It's like
it's how you sound genuine. Probably, is just speaking from the heart and doing that. Like I said, kind of what I'm trying to do more of. Just kind of being like, is this really me? Like, you ever write something and you're like, do you ever write some shit and just throw it away because it doesn't sound like I don't know. Have you ever written some shit and just been like, this doesn't sound like me, or this isn't real? You know what I mean?
Even more so, I've written some stuff that's too real to where I'm like, I should probably toss this because this could cause some problems.
Oh,
yeah.
So you like, I gotta dial it back.
Yeah, a little too, you know, like. But it's still very much me. There's never been a time like that's not, you know, anything I've been through. It's 100% authentic. It's not fabricated. A lot of these motherfuckers can't say that.
Yeah. What's like the craziest story that you have in your raps that you can talk about? Like, what's like? I mean, without going, you don't have to name names or anything, but I just mean, you know, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is? And what's the song title if you got one? You don't have to answer it. But.
I don't. What's funny is there is a song that I'm telling a story, and it didn't make the album. It didn't make the new album.
Oh, okay.
But it was very real. It wasn't like crazy. It was just, you know, stuff that, you know, black kids grow up dealing with, you know, type of situation when, you know, families working, families, you know, doing other things. And now you're doing other things and trying to just, you know, figure out your adolescence and what you're supposed to do.
Feeling like alone, maybe?
Yeah, not even alone. It's just like, oh, I'm fully engulfed by me being reckless or like the people I'm with. So it's like, yeah, this is what we do now, type of type of shit. But that song didn't make the album.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. It was great. Like I love it, but for this album, it just didn't. Sound
we might
right.
see it at some point.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, it might just be one that I send, you know, to the homies and
right.
Call it that. But
what was that story you did in that song? I think it might have been a made up story or something about or maybe it was real, but it was about like your like the guy that you were on I think it was Ilmac. I don't know. On there was a song about like you. Like we're at the diner, you're supposed to meet your friend at the diner.
Oh,
that was like a story you guys.
Yeah, that was a story. We actually were sitting down at G's house and like came up with that
like
idea.
A plot,
like a story,
it's like a story plot.
Yeah,
and it's good. I like that. What's that song called?
I forget what that song's called. You know,
I'm not
even gonna say the label.
So many songs.
I'm not gonna say the label, but they really fucked up by not putting that project on streaming. They really fucked up.
Was that Chrome Seats?
Yes.
Well, I went looking for that.
Yeah.
I went to G's Bandcamp. You went to Calvin's Bandcamp. Went to yours. Chrome Seats is gone. Do you have it? You need to give it to me because I want Chrome Seats.
Yeah, I got you.
I want to be able to hear that because that shit bops.
I got you. Yeah, that was a really fun project, man.
Yeah.
That's when me and Calvin work together, it's magic. I'll show you.
And you do this thing. He does this thing on there. You do this thing on Chrome Seats where you play a character.
Thunderbird Kelly.
Yeah,
he'll never leave, man. That goes back to the start of T&E.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So for people that don't know that, unfortunately can't even go listen to this, you were like a radio talk show host called Thunderbird Kelly.
So his story was
he's got a whole lineage, a whole backstory.
He moved to Portland from New York, and he was underneath a kingpin, and shit was getting hot. So he was like, I need to go to some punk ass city on the West Coast and just kind of like chill out and do some other things. So, he went into pharmaceuticals. And he also became
so you're role playing right now.
Yeah. He also, just has such a poignant and like debonair delivery that it was just like, okay, we're gonna Thunderbird Kelly, we're gonna,
Yeah, it's so funny.
He's on some new stuff.
I wish we could. Would the label get mad at us if we played some Thunderbird Kelly?
I mean, he's I'm talking like he's a real person.
He is. He lives on the track.
I mean, he's on the new. He opens up the Bathlete project.
Oh, really? So he's still alive.
Yeah, he's kicking,
very
man.
much alive.
He lives in Selwood. You know what I'm saying?
He's got the whole backstory.
He hates coffee, but started a coffee,
because he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He's smart.
Yeah, he's not smart at all, but he's doing his thing.
Okay.
So shout out to TBK, man.
So who's like the most, like, have you ever met somebody who you really like looked up to that, like, musically, and how'd that go? Like, was it bad? Like, you know how people meet like, you know what I mean? Like your icon or something. And it's like, like kind of opening shows for people or like, what, you know what I mean? Or did you ever met somebody where you were like bummed out that you met them?
No, honestly, no.
Yeah.
All the people, all the like celebrities and like, artists that I either, grew up listening to or looked up to, they were all cool.
That's good.
All genres, like they were all pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have any bad like, oh man, that person was an asshole. Like I don't have
never
it.
happened.
Yeah, I don't have it. Like all the people I've met, whether it was performing or just like
who have you met that you like looked up to? Or
I met Premier and Guru, Gangstar.
You met Premier?
Yeah, super cool. What was funny about, actually I can't even get into that story. But yeah. Met Guru and Preem. That was crazy. I mean, there's just been a list, a couple of standouts like People Under the Stairs, R.I.P. to Double K. Meeting Thess and Double K was crazy because
I'm not sure. I've never heard of them before.
I'll put you on.
Okay.
They're one of my favorite hip hop duos of all time.
Okay.
We might need somebody to look that up.
Yeah, what's it called?
Just look up People Under the Stairs.
People Under the Stairs. What song? What's a song?
Let's The Breakdown. The Breakdown
by People Under the Stairs. Maybe Grumpy can get that up. Up in the chat.
Grumpy could get that going. That'd be crazy. But yeah, they're one of my favorite hip hop duos of all time. There's a short list, but they're on that list.
And you got to meet them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, T&E.
Did you guys? Oh, you played a show with them.
Yeah, we played a show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was tight.
Okay. I'm just getting this set up so we can listen to some tunes. Should we show people that song that we did together? Please. Do you think it's time?
Yeah, go for it.
We can show them that song, I guess. I suppose.
Yeah, definitely go for it.
I guess they're worthy. I don't think anybody probably knows. Not a lot of people know that I did this yet. Like my close friends know that I did it. But it's been under wraps.
What do they think about it?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
I've heard multiple times. For some reason, everybody says this about it. This has legs.
Okay.
That's what I've heard about it.
We like that.
Yeah, and one of them that who told me that, one of the people that told me that is Spencer.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, he's doing pretty well right
now. Yeah, I'd say
as far as making alternative sounding rap, which is definitely, or hip hop, which is definitely what, I don't know what you would call that, because it's like a drum and bass.
Yeah.
People will they'll hear it.
Right.
But so you sent that to me.
I can also send it again. Let me know.
No, I think I got it.
You don't have it?
Oh, actually, here's me asking you. I'm like, bro, what happened to Chrome Seats?
That's hilarious.
I was looking for that the other day. All right, this should work. This was so much fun to make, dude.
Super fun.
Yeah. We should do like a little EP or something at some point. I know you got a lot of you got a lot of shit.
I always got time to make new music.
I love it.
That never stops.
So sick. I feel like you sound like all the best rappers combined. And I'm not even saying that, but you have a very it's kind of like Freddie, like how Freddie has that like such a familiar sound.
Yeah.
So hard. That low right there was hard. It was fun for me to hear you scream, because that was the first. That was a first for me, and I was like, I don't even know why he called me.
Yeah, that was a blast, bro. You killed it. That song is super fun, man. That song is super fun. I was just talking to Neil about that actually. Yeah, we'll get some legs underneath that one.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, I can't wait to share that.
Yeah,
I have a whole. I mean, I hopefully 1,000 people will listen to it to see what I'm doing on it, and then they'll be like, "Oh, who is this fucking awesome dude, awesome artist?" What's that song about?
I mean,
a lot of that song was freestyle too, because we were like changing it.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to like scream what you were screaming in the song.
It worked. I mean, I was just talking about everything that was going on, and not only in the city, but just in America, in the world, with police brutality and just like the unfair treatment of black and brown men and women, and
the message.
Yeah, just trying to do it in a way that I going back to the whole preachy thing. I never wanted to be too preachy, but I mean,
everyone's doing that right now.
Yeah, and everyone's doing it, but I also want to.
But if you're speaking from the heart,
I want to say my piece,
right?
But still bash some shit over your fucking head,
right?
With how it sounds, so it's not gonna be this like, that
right.
Shit's crazy.
I mean, that doesn't sound like anything anybody's ever heard or done recently.
I mean, that's always the MO. You know?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So we got it set up now. Anything you want to do, you can just text me. Anything you want to share, and we can share some stuff.
All right.
Oh, the reason I wanted to, I want to tell a little story. It's not. I mean, it's kind of a cool story. You had to be there story, but I played your music for Talib Kweli one time, and I know that sounds ridiculous to say that, but I did a random. He liked it. I just wanted to say it's cool. It's a small flex.
That's cool.
It's a had to be their story. But I was working a private event for Hawthorne Theater, and I used to drive people around in the van,
right? And
I picked up Talib Kweli from the airport, and we had hung out. This was after I basically made friends with like him and his. I forget his drummer's name right now for some reason.
Was it Daru Jones?
I don't think so. This was a different band of dudes. Okay. One of the guys that I ended up making friends with was Chris Robb, who is Craig Robinson's older brother, and he's like famous mostly for doing a James Brown impersonation thing that he does in like Japan. It's like huge.
Oh, that's crazy.
And Craig Robinson, you know who that is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so it was his brother, and we ended up make friends that day. It's a cool guy, but anyway, I was driving them back to their hotel, and I was like, "Can I play my friend's music for you guys?" And it was like after the show, and they I don't know how they remember it, but it was cool for me. I was like, "Yes, I'm gonna play this. Cool. I'm gonna play this shit." You're the first person. I was like, "I'm gonna play this shit." And they were vibing to it.
Appreciate that.
It was all right. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, usually they probably hear some shit. And
they're like, right.
Yeah, but they never about it.
Yeah.
So even the greats.
That's cool.
Even the greats approve.
Hey, man.
So listen to this man's music.
There it is.
But so you said the label with the Chrome Seats thing, they kind of screwed you. Can you talk? You don't have to tell.
It's not really my place to say. Okay. I'm just saying that I wish that project was on streaming so more people could hear it. Because like the people that did hear it, they like.
Can you not do it?
I don't know. It's not my doing.
They're hanging on to it.
I don't know what's going on with it. Calvin and I have
generally speaking, has labels in management been like? Can you speak on labels and management generally, as it relates to maybe your experience or the hip hop's community? Because it seems like everybody has a different experience with it. You know what I mean?
They do.
Genre to genre, project to project,
right.
Label to label. And there's just a lot of shady weirdos out there.
Super shady weirdos. I don't mean to look away while talking.
No,
but I'm about to send you a song.
Yeah.
Can I just airdrop this thing to
you?
Yeah,
you could just airdrop it to my...
There we go. Boom. Yeah, there's always some shifty, shady things going on, but that's a part of this life we chose, in this path we chose. So
right. Has your experience been mostly positive or mostly negative, or in between? Every other.
I've had negative experiences that I've forced myself to turn positive, instead of letting it just bog me down. And and I've definitely had some discouraging moments. It'd be a lie if I said I haven't, but at the same time, I just figure out how can I get myself out of this.
Can you talk generally about what happened, like without like they did this, they did that, like without naming any names or putting yourself in a weird position? Can you talk?
I mean, it's just
what kind of things happen when bad stuff happens with labels?
Just not even just labels, just overall, we're in a very finicky industry. It's very like. Yeah. People, there's a lot of yes men, and I don't want those around me. I don't operate like a yes man, so I don't want yes mans a part of anything.
Real criticism.
Like if you don't like something, tell me, and it's cool.
If you
like
don't think it has legs.
Yeah. If it doesn't have legs,
your job to tell me whether
right.
or not.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I've never wanted to work with people like that. It's crazy. I don't know. There's just that I can't really like recount a specific moment right now, but there's just
a weird thing. It seems like when you're an independent artist and a small local act, like we start out as, you know what I mean? It seems like as you get older and get into the business more, it seems like you just get little glimpses into like what it's like for the big timers. Like you never quite know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's all favors. Or you do. Maybe we do. I don't know. But
we do.
How does it? Yeah, it's like how does it work? How does it work for seemingly work for big artists, and they get paid, and they get promoted well. And then it doesn't, and then it does, and then we have our experiences.
They have
I mean, we like our label, everything's fine, but I've dodged all kinds of label stuff.
Yeah,
like, we're such and so records, and I'm like,
right,
no,
no, you're not, yeah.
Have you heard of DistroKid? Because that works just as good to get my shit on Spotify.
Yeah.
But you got to have somebody vying for you that has like clout or pull, in the game, kind of.
Yeah.
If you're going to give them any kind of percentage or give them any kind of control over what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that are like, yeah, come sign to our label. And you're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's all crazy, man. I mean, just a lot of the stuff you see and hear. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of the stuff I've seen and heard.
It probably doesn't get too much different.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's just and in the circles that we're in, separately and together, the amount of the similarities are crazy. It's just there's a different tax bracket.
True.
Some of these problems are still very much home base, but
right.
Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, we just gotta work through it. And
is Bathlete? So you guys, is that Squatch started like a label thing, right? Nightmare thing. Is Bathlete affiliated with that, or is it separate?
No, Bathlete, we're our own thing. Nightmare. Are you guys in 3?
Would you guys sign? Are you going to stay independent with Bathlete? Do you have a goal?
Me only speaking for me. Speaking for me. If the motherfucker's not cutting the check correctly for distribution and a couple other things, like, we're staying independent.
Right.
They gotta show up the right ways for us. Like, you can't, anything that we can do on our own, we don't need you.
Right.
Give us something.
You know how to get music on Spotify.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people don't. Like, they don't know that you want your music on every platform like that. You can go online and pay $30.
$35 a month.
Yeah.
$35 a year. $35 a year to be exact.
Yeah. And I think even more for a one time. Isn't there like a one-time deal you pay if you pay like $100 or something
like that,
on some of these sites? It's like a lifetime for certain ones or something.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. And then I think when it comes into like who has pull with the Spotify playlist, really, you know what I mean? Which it sucks to chase shit like that, but especially, I mean, in metal, dude, I don't know what it's like. For hip hop, I guess I don't know how people find new shit anymore, because back in the day we were on blogs. Remember blog
TuneCore?
Yeah, we were on Mediafire. Downloading.
No, for real.
Downloading.
Man,
remember that?
Come on.
Dude, you remember this sweet time period
where
you could just write the word Mediafire after any
album,
any movie,
anything,
any movie in theaters,
right,
on DVD, any album that just came out, any genre,
right,
and then have it.
Yeah.
That was really bad for us.
It was bad and great.
Because
I had
so much music was being discovered.
It was crazy because I remember a time where, I had a Blackberry gang.
Oh, I had one too.
R.I.P.
I love. Bring them back.
Honestly.
I miss having a keyboard. Let's go.
Blackberry was really it. But you could, you go on a blog and just right there, click.
Oh, yeah.
Media player popped up. Boop. Download the song.
Yes.
And then I went over to Windows. Same thing.
Yeah.
But just
Android
better.
phones.
Just straight up files right to your phone. Like, you're like, cool. If I'm at
Pirate
home.
Bay.
Yeah. But I mean, I never went Pirate Bay. I went a couple others. But yeah, it was nuts. It was a nutso time. And now we just have.
How do people find music now? Press release. sharing it on Facebook and
new finds. All these
Spotify playlists has
whatever.
a huge.
Yeah,
they have a huge like corner on the market, man. Or and Apple Music. All those the big and like Tidal's like the third hanging out.
But Tidal's
it's popping off though.
Tidal's
people love Jay-Z.
Yeah, they do.
Turns out people love Jay-Z.
And he's a Sagittarius, so shout out to him. So yeah, they love us. I think that. Okay, hold on. Let me take a sip.
I'll take one too. Cheers, by the way. Good hangs, man. Good hangs. I'm ready to hit the hot tub after this.
Absolutely. I think. Yeah, like playlist. People are finding
huge. What other way?
It's crazy.
What other way?
It's nuts.
Who'd have ever thought that we'd be on these? Not to old man.
No, let's old man.
Back
yeah,
in my
absolutely.
Day,
let's old man.
Who'd have ever thought that we'd be on these platforms that have complete control over like whether your music whether this release is gonna be heard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's basically you have a little. You can push,
right.
But you can't. The music marketing guru guys, they talk about this. You can't over promote.
Right.
You can't do the 3-day countdown anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do the week-long countdown where you can't hold it. You gotta, if anything, you have to sucker punch release now.
Yeah.
You gotta say, surprise, bitch.
Yeah.
We released this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they're like, whoa. And then they're like on board.
And then it's just like,
and then they're waiting for more, right? And
yeah.
And you only have them for like a certain time period after you release the single where you can't just keep them waiting for a year. They're going to forget about you. Got to stay fresh in their mind. And I don't know. It's like it's always changing. But who'd ever thought that we were be on these platforms like this? Because they have complete control.
But not only that, if you're, in a form, if you're like a smaller act or a smaller band group, whatever, not only do you got to hit them in the face with it, but you got to keep it coming. Whether it be visuals, merch, everything. There's so many things that go along with videos. Yeah. So many things that go along with it.
You almost can't release a single without a music video anymore.
There's
no
you can and can't, but
you can, but it's ill advised.
Yeah,
You better have and even if it's not you in the video performing, then like some kind of a visual.
Yeah, some sort for YouTube. There has to be a visualizer
there has to
or
be something.
It could be the same day. It could be like a week out. I feel like, I guess it all depends on the situation too.
Right.
Like, someone like me who hates being all in the videos.
Right.
I'm just like, how can we get around that? And there's ways. And
why do you hate being on videos?
You know what I'm saying?
You're self-conscious about it. You're a beautiful man.
Hey, thank you.
Everybody loves looking at you.
Nah, not true.
Come on. You got a closet full of dope clothes and shoes.
You don't know that.
I know that you have shoes. I know you collect shoes. I've seen you pull up in some crazy shoes. So I don't know what you're wearing right now. You got the Crocs on.
I kept it simple. We're relaxed.
Show them your Crocs. Even your Crocs are cool.
No, man.
Oh, it's all right.
They're not paying us.
They are. You're right.
They're not cutting the
you
check.
Have some slip-ons on. They're not.
Yeah. It's okay. You said it. It's too late. It's too late.
Let me. Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not paying.
Right. You got to tape. You got some tape. Bring us some tape.
Yeah. That's too patriotic. I'm out.
Right.
But yeah. It's. I don't know. It's crazy. Going back to the music, the old man music thing. There, I remember a time where I worked at Zoomies. Fuck them. I worked at Zoomies. We'll go across this, real close to my house, and we'll go download video or just a song,
right?
And it would take so long. And then the kicker was, if you have 56K, game over. Somebody calls, that connection's gone.
Wait, what? 56K?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Real old man shit.
What?
56K, not it, dial up.
Oh.
Yeah, dial up.
Oh.
So you'd be trying to download a song,
and
somebody calls, shuts everything down.
But the grind to get music was part of it. That was part of it.
It was
right?
part of it. You would hear hear it in the video or hear it in an Escape video, search for it online. My thing is if I was watching an Escape video, once I had some money, if I was watching an Escape video, like the song, I would go and get their whole discography. Because I want to study the artist and really, so that was something I missed. And now we just do that in 2 seconds. Boop. It's in your phone.
It's definitely, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's definitely lost. Some kind of magic is lost from, like, I even think that, like, up until the phone and the iPod, you know, kind of became like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
you remember Zune?
Oh yeah, I fucked with Zune heavy. I had a Zune. Zune was lit.
I never had one.
Do you remember the second Zune they came out with the touchable? It was like a touch screen.
The video one?
No, it was like the regular Zune, but instead of the original Zune had the click buttons up
right,
and down.
Right.
But this Zune had like a little pad strip, like a little
I don't know if I remember that one.
And you just slid up and down. And selected
I
with
remember
the
that.
button.
That's crazy.
I was like the Zune 2, and then there was no more.
There
Zune.
was no more Zune.
Rest in peace, Zune.
Yeah, it was short-lived.
Always liked the Zune.
It was way cool. Like, a couple homies had Zunes.
It sucks, but it's like, because it makes more sense to just have it on one device. It really makes a lot more sense, and it makes more sense to have it in the cloud and pay 99 cents. It all makes more sense, and I'm so glad it's so convenient, right?
It is really convenient.
But there was this thing about, like, loading up that motherfucker with some music, and
it would take hours.
You knew you were going to be on the bus or on a drive,
whatever,
or on the, like, for me it was like on the school bus.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and I wanted the album art. I had to go Google that shit, add it in iTunes or whatever.
You know, that's exactly the same shit I did.
I had to go get the album art. I had to find it. And then I had to make it look like Spotify.
Yeah, you had to make it look like it was a real thing.
So shouts to these people that they figured it out.
Yeah.
Geniuses. But there was a grind, and then when you had it, you were like, I'm fucking proud of this.
Yeah,
I fucking worked for this.
I remember being on the PC, clicking the drag and drop.
Yep.
And putting that file in the album, there had to be an order
sometimes
to
that
it.
didn't even work.
It did, exactly.
For some reason.
Sometimes, then like it'd skip a number
because you have
like,
to go to get info and add it to all the songs.
Exactly, add it to every crazy time. We
spent
really
a lot of time on that.
A lot of.
They should have paid us for that.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but it's real though. Like,
but that for some reason that was like, you know what I think that was? It was like when my dad talks about
vinyl.
Yes, that was like our. That was like almost. It must be
millennial vinyl.
That's like
that
our equivalent. That is our
yeah.
equivalent because like he talks about ripping the plastic off of that motherfucker and sliding
looking at the insert,
sliding
putting the poster on the,
putting it up on the wall. Yeah, and it was like for us, like you wanted to get. It was like who had the most better music on their phone or on their iPod back in the day.
Even better, if you were like me. It was all about what was in that fucking CD case and how many CD cases full of music.
I did have a lot of CDs. Bro. I did have a lot of CDs. Rest in peace, CDs.
For like mine was so down to the letter that I had it. It was hip hop, it was pop punk, it was punk, it was hardcore, it was metal. Like multiple cases. I still have this one from high school. Oh,
you had it. Did you have the CD book like in the car thing with the CDs in it? I didn't ever like those. I think I had one maybe, but I didn't like them.
Yeah,
people swear by those.
Yeah, it was definitely
I like the case in the rack. I like the case on the rack.
Now in your CD case, would you put the album insert in front of each CD, or if you were like me, did you double back the CDs?
I think I just had them all in a row like you would put like DVDs.
Yeah.
Like I didn't change anything about the art. You were looking at the spine when you're collecting them.
Yeah.
Or when you're sifting through to figure out what you're gonna play. Mm-hmm. You would look at like I had like racks where you would slide like a metal rack from like Walmart, Target, where there was like a bunch of spacers and you'd slide your CD, like the case, the hard case in, and then. So I never had the insert pulled out. What did you do? How did
I had it? So I still have
your CD?
I still have this CD case.
Okay,
this one. I don't know where the other like four are.
Is it one of those ones with the glass door that you push on it?
No. Like literally a seat, like a red, like whatever, like Case Logic, that brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a red Case Logic.
Okay.
And so it goes from coastal hip hop.
Coastal.
I have
East
West Coast. I have Midwest, East Coast.
Okay.
You know,
so you have it separated by
I have it separated by coast. Yeah, separated geographically, and then I had it like level. For me, it was like, okay, if this side is a whole, this side is dedicated to Wu-Tang. So it's like I just had it in order, and then I had the Jay-Z side, and then I have a Nas side, and I have the Big L side. Sadly, it was very short, sadly. you know, and just going on. And then it went to the next case, which was like dance music. And then on the back of that was rock.
Just
it was
having
crazy.
Physical stuff to organize.
Crazy.
I wonder, you know how vinyl like came back, and I think it's still back, but it was a couple years ago. 2018 was like the year of the vinyl.
Vinyl's never.
Yeah, it never goes away.
It's amazing.
It's always beautiful and great.
I heard it the other day, not to interrupt, but I heard it the other day, and someone was just like, "Yeah, it's just like." I was in the grocery store. Oh, it's crazy! Like vinyl's back. I'm like, where did it go? It's like jeans. Like, remember, motherfuckers, Y2K, we're going to be wearing shiny suits and all this bullshit. It's like, yo, people are still wearing jeans.
Right.
So
whether they're baggy or tight.
Tight, especially baggy now.
It's coming back.
The high school kids got on lock.
Really?
That's another, I see them walking down the street
no
all
skinny
the
jeans
time.
anymore?
I mean, probably,
it's
but,
gonna be skinny
our
jeans.
time is different.
It's going to be skinny jeans for the metal kids.
Dudes were wearing skinny jeans skating. You know, it's
I don't think we'll
now.
ever see like the Limp Bizkit metal skinny jeans come or baggy jeans come back for metal.
No.
For metal, it's always gonna be tight jeans with rips in them from now on. We're never gonna get. You think we could go back? Even Fred Durst isn't wearing the fucking like baggy. You know,
he's probably still wearing. He's wearing a bubble jacket right now.
No,
somewhere.
haven't you seen his look? The dad look?
No,
when he came back,
is he dad look?
Oh, bro,
I have no idea.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my god.
We listened.
Grumpy, pull up a picture of Fred Durst right now and put it in the chat.
Yeah, we need 20. We need 22 Fred Durst. We did at the studio recently pull up some new Limp Bizkit in it.
It's
exactly, and that's never like been. Oh,
to be honest, the new stuff that they put out, there was like one or two songs that even like pulled on your nostalgia heartstrings.
Yeah.
But and the rest of them were not. It wasn't. We wanted it to really sound like Limp Bizkit,
right?
You know what I mean? And it's like, just do your sound. You know?
Do you ever think about that? Like, say 10 years down the road,
scoot a little, just a little.
See,
closer.
I keep getting too comfortable.
No, it's okay. No, I want you to be comfortable. Just scoot it back. Do whatever you need to do with it to be comfortable.
Oh yeah, no,
you just good. Pull in. I don't know. You can lower that chair a little bit too.
All in my face. Do you ever think or just get consumed by the thought of like where your music will be, or just to avoid being like some of these bands or how they fizzled and like
how
tried to do the cool thing and how the sound changed, because there's some of my favorite bands that I'm just like, damn, but I get it though. At the same time, we all evolve.
I think you have to respect the creativity and like you have to respect the fact that they're not going to want to do the same sound that you fell in love with.
Right.
But then I think the caveat is that you don't always have to love them or love everything that they release, right? And I think a lot of people get so tribal with their artists and their music that they like, and sometimes they'll just like, like Drake, for example. I'm a big Drake. I'm a big Drake fan.
Yeah.
I think even though I know he's very ghost written, a lot of people touch his work. I think the stuff he's on is some of those albums are just hitless. But like the new one, it just didn't do it. Just didn't give me anything. I just wasn't super hyped on it. And then you get all the people that are like, what, did you like it or no? No. Yeah. No.
Not at all.
But so you feel me then. But it's like even as a cringy Drake fan, I wasn't afraid to be like, you know what I mean? There's a song or two,
and that's okay,
with Lil Baby on it that I liked or whatever. You know what I mean? Like a good feature. You know what I mean? And but there's a lot of people that will just go, oh, it's good because it's Drake. It was great.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they'll either convince themselves that they like it, which is fine. I don't know. I'm like, it's like what you're gonna like. I'm not judging anybody, but it's like, do you really like it? Or are you just kind of telling yourself that you like it because you don't want to be disappointed? You know what I mean? Or like what? Like I'm willing to not like somebody's work.
Yeah,
that I really like. You know,
that's okay, because at the end of the day, like no matter what our opinion is on these artists, they're where they're at. And that's not going to change. I would love the liberty of just dropping a project and having millions of fans like
eat it
salivate over it,
right?
Like that,
and you'll
like,
get there.
I mean, maybe
and I feel like I'm probably that fan for you. I don't, you know what I mean? I like everything that you do. So it's
thank you.
And your music goes in obscure places sometimes. Like the song that we fucking did together is weird. It's a fun. Weird song. It's gonna when people are listening to the whole album, it's gonna be a curveball.
Yeah,
it's the curveball on the album.
But that's the artist's evolution, though.
Right.
At the same time,
I like it.
I just feel like
and you got the balls to do it, basically, to do some crazy shit.
That's what I'm here for.
Right.
You know, like I'm just here to. I've always. I really do pride myself in just being able to take those different risks, and and sometimes you lose out, but it's worth a shot to me.
Right.
I'm a at least try it.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than just be like, oh, that won't work, I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm gonna fucking do that shit.
Or like finding too much of a recipe or too much of a what's the word everybody always uses, for kind of doing the same thing. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart on it, but like, they say that like you got to write the chorus, the hook, the
formula.
The formula. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Yes, for productivity's sake, I feel like to get stuff done, you want to have a formula.
Right.
And then, but people talk about the big mainstream producers. They'll talk about like, even in like the pop stuff and how there's this formula that you should follow or whatever. But I feel like if an artist gets too into that, then their stuff's going to just always sound like the last. So it's like, it sucks because it's a rock and a hard place. Like, to answer your question, it's like you gotta find a balance of sounding like your old shit and staying true to what you want to do and your growth as an artist, because it's like you're not always gonna grow. You're gonna change your approach and your style, and you know what I mean. And
if people don't like the new stuff, go back and listen to the old stuff, bitch.
Right.
Yeah. Like there's been right now, even myself. If say AFI puts out some new shit, and I'm like, it's not for me.
Which is probably
I can take my bitch ass back to the old shit that I love and be like, this is home.
What are some of your favorite non hip hop artists still that you listen to?
I mean, I listen to Turnstile.
They're blowing up right now. I didn't really understand it. I didn't really get it. I gotta listen to it because somebody showed me some shit that sounded like Silver Sun Pickups. Right,
I used to love them.
I used to love them too. Don't get me wrong, but all the hardcore kids are freaking out about this band because they went on Fallon and they're like, oh my god, they're making waves for us. Like they're doing big things for hardcore. Yeah, and I listened to it and it's like, I've been waiting. It sounds like Silver Sun Pickups was like the first thing I thought, and I didn't think it sounded bad.
Right,
but this is the thing that happens, and it happens to me with movies, with shows, with music, with albums, with releases. Is shit gets hyped.
Yeah.
And I don't hear it until a month after people have been talking and rambling about it. And then I go, this?
Yeah.
This is what everybody's psychopath over?
I get that.
I'm not saying it's bad. And then somebody showed me some old shit that sounded like punky hardcore stuff.
Yes.
Gritty, grimy, punky hardcore stuff. So it's like that's where they were, and that's why people like them and respect them. And then they have the new shit that's more accessible, and that's why they're playing Jimmy Kimmel or whatever they're doing.
Right. And, I think it goes back to the evolution of the artist, and then also those formulas of we can still have these punk and hardcore formulas, but also show that we can get melodic and we can do these other things because we don't have these restrictions. And I think that if you're willing to go there, if you know what your sweet spot is, and you're willing to say fuck that sweet spot, let's do some other shit, I'm all for it. Now, if it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. And for me, that was just the first band. Anyway. It's subjective. Right. Yeah, that was just the first band
that you've been listening to.
I personally love the new record. I listen to a lot of house stuff. Yeah. I listen to a lot of house, jungle.
Did she get a picture of Fred Durst?
Did she? Oh, let's see that.
That's...
Oh, okay. Yeah, he looks good.
Let's see.
He looks good. And that's, there it is right there.
I was looking for the album, the Daddy Rock, though.
Whoa, look at that hair.
I know, right? I was looking for the get-up.
That's crazy.
Let me show you the get-up real quick. I want to see what he's been performing in, because he's got these red... He looks like Hunter S. Thompson or some shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at this. Here, I'm gonna drop this in the chat because I don't want to deal with the pulling up.
That's the one.
This one, right? Yeah, this one right here.
That's the
you
one.
haven't seen this? He did Lollapalooza, like went viral.
I feel like I've seen a video like that, but is that a wig or is it real?
That's his hair.
That's it. I
think that's his actual hair.
I love it. That's sick.
Yeah.
You know, and regardless of what we think about the music, I would love to say that I can be here, you know, in 20 years, like still doing it. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm in a different spot where I'm like doing some other shit musically or in film or, you know, whatever it is. But that's cool, you know. Let's
Here, I'm gonna put this in the chat so they can see it. Look at this man.
Yo,
he comes. He comes from not being anywhere seen by the media for like years, and then he just comes out with a single looking like this.
That's crazy.
Here, I put it in the chat, guys. If you're listening or listening later, you can check out the chat. But look at those. Look at that. Those glasses.
I love that, man.
Beautiful. But but even he's not wearing the baggy jeans we were talking about. Like he wasn't like the parachute jeans back in the day. The Jinko jeans, like because back when he was wearing the red hat and shit.
They did leave for a time. Yo, they're back. The youth got it. The youth has it unlocked.
But not in metal though. I don't think because there was that era, the Korn, Disturbed. Yeah. There was this era of like the baggy jeans, the Jinko jeans and metal. And I think it's gonna be. Oh my god, they were so hard. Yeah, Korn was so hard. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you're a fan. I'm big. They're like probably one of my favorite bands.
Like I listened. It was like if somebody was playing it, you know, I was listening.
Right.
But
they were so dope when they came in with the tracksuit.
Yeah,
that was
crazy.
Metal shit in the tracksuit.
That was crazy.
Like uncalled for.
But at that time, like we were kids, and that was just like.
Well, hip hop culture was merging with rock and metal culture.
I mean, and it has though, you know, because we date back. Yeah, it always has because we date back to like Run DMC and Aerosmith, Walk This Way. You know,
all kinds of shit.
They've been doing all kinds of So it's just like those worlds always cross over, and I think it's great when they do.
That actually has me on one other thing I wrote down. I wanted to talk to you about. And you fit this mold so well because you're a hip hop dude that loves you love metal, you love rock, you love all genres of music. Yeah. And I feel like that's pretty consistent with like most people I meet that do hip hop, they love metal and they're like so welcoming and accepting it. Even as of very recently, they started doing the screaming stuff. And you had another song that you were doing some like super screaming stuff, and I seen you do it live a couple times.
Been doing it for years.
Yeah, you've been doing it for a long time. Like, yeah. And some of these bigger names started doing stuff. I think like XXX, you know what I mean, was like made it a trend, right? Some of these guys kind of made it a trend, and what I feel like doesn't get reciprocated enough though is I feel like metal people, metal nerds, a lot of them, and maybe less now than it was when I was growing up, but it was very like, I don't know why, but it was like we don't like pop or hip hop, like we're metal. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a like if it ain't metal, fuck it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't know why that is. I don't know why.
I mean, it's crazy, man, because I remember going to shows and like being...
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just remember going to shows and being like one of the few black dudes in the pit. And
especially
that's like
around
a real
here.
thing. Especially around here. Like that was a real thing.
I'll tell you what, I just did the whole country, and that's not the same everywhere.
No. Yeah,
and it's awesome.
It's sick.
It's dope to see it, especially you go to Texas or something.
I was just gonna say Texas. Yeah,
it's all different kinds of people. It's a real like melting pot out there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna ask you a question. So on this most recent tour, give me your. Okay, you gotta exclude Texas
because you know I love Texas.
Yeah. But you gotta exclude Texas. Give me. Oh, you don't have to exclude it. Give me your top 5 cities.
Like just
you performed it.
Show-wise.
Yeah. That you were just like, okay, we're coming back here.
And I mean, it wasn't all Texas. It was Austin because we got legs there. We've been there a couple times or whatever. Yeah. But New York was awesome. I love New York.
Yeah.
New York is a vibe.
They eat it up.
I love New York.
Yeah.
Cupertino, California, some random spot in California.
Never even heard of that place.
I think it's between. It was between like L.A. and the Bay. It was between Long Beach and the Bay.
Okay.
Not the Bay, but like between Long Beach and Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Huh, okay.
Some weird no man's land
wow,
in California. Yeah. Middle California, you know? But I think it actually is closer to the Bay.
Okay.
So I think it's close to Salinas and stuff like
NorCal.
that. I could be wrong, but I'm not geographically smart.
Okay,
but,
that's all right. Yeah.
That show absolutely cracked off, which California for us has always been like a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like
same.
Super hit or miss.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's a miss, if I'm being honest. You know,
it's different. It's definitely different.
Chicago was wild.
Really?
Yeah. Chicago was wild. It hit. We had some like people out there that like some important people were there, like in our genre, like the Born of Osiris dude came through.
Shit.
Veil of Maya homies came through. They're all from Chicago,
right? Yeah,
and a couple of those guys came through, and they were watching us. And for
some
me, that
hitters.
was like that's big,
yeah,
you know, for us.
And that also kind of lets you know, not to interrupt again. I'm sorry.
No, please interrupt whenever you want, man.
That lets you know that like you guys
we're on to something.
Getting to where you're supposed to be.
Hopefully,
when the wigs come
I
in,
invited them out, but they came out.
But the fact is, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like
they didn't have to buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, and they did, and they brought, there you go.
But we're hoping to do something with these bigger artists. I mean, we all want to, be taken on tour by somebody. But
yeah,
so we got in no order, really. You know, New York, Austin, Chicago,
small town California.
Small town in California. Our agent was saying that our numbers looked better. A small town in Texas too, called Lubbock.
That's outside of Houston.
No, it's west.
West.
Yeah, it's like 6 hours west of Austin.
I've heard about. I swear, like I was watching.
Up. It's a college town. I think there's a big college there that I don't remember.
That makes sense because I swear I've seen some shit on Hate 6, and it was in Lubbock. I don't know where that is, but
that's like the guy that films. Keem was educating me on Hate 6.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But it's like
been watching that for years. He's the guy.
Yeah,
the guy. Yeah.
But yeah. So a couple major cities. I'd say it's about half and half. Major cities and B markets is what our agent was like. You guys are killing it in the B markets, which is great because we know that we can kill it in the great markets. Everybody does well in those, but not everybody does well in the Lubbocks and the Cupertinos and the strange little places that one might play.
Right.
You know? But yeah, I think those were kind of like the standouts for me. Salt Lake City.
Heavy hitter. Bro, I can't wait to tour the Midwest or whatever.
I can't wait to go do photos for you when you go on
Let's
tour.
go.
Wow, we were supposed to.
I know.
Before COVID.
Yeah.
That would have been
crazy.
It was the world. They were trying to stop us because it would have been too lit.
The world didn't want us to.
It would have been too fun.
They didn't want us to dub out.
There was going to be a tour bus involved.
Right.
It was going to be so much
fun.
World
did not want us to dub out.
No, but that would be so fun.
Crazy.
Salt Lake is so beautiful too. It's crazy coming from like a mountainous Salt Lakey kind of place.
Yeah.
And then you go to Salt Lake and like you got like the buildings and
then mountains.
The mountains are like right here.
Yeah.
And you're like, because we have Mount Hood, you can see it from the roof of my apartment building. You're like, oh cool, it's right there.
Right.
It's not right there.
No.
It's an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Yeah.
The mountains in fucking Salt
20
Lake.
20 minutes out.
You could throw a rock at them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could probably shoot one if you had
a rifle. And they love that out there.
Oh, they sure do.
Yeah, they're all for it.
Yeah, Salt Lake was wild. I mean, those people love music out there.
They do. Denver, same thing.
Denver, normally, hopefully, yeah. For us, it was shot.
Really?
And I think it was just a promotion issue. In most cases, you can't blame the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was we were touring. Have you heard of Attila? You know Attila?
Franz, that does. Sounds familiar.
Like problematic fucking bands always getting in. They're always like saying "fuck you" stuff, and you know what I mean. Their lyrics are they're purposely shock value, ridiculous. Fun band. They're fun, and they're kind of goated in the deathcore scene. You know, they're like old school kind of goats. But anyway, we were kind of following their tour. So like our tour dates were like 2 or 3 days away from theirs in every city that we were at. So they were playing a show. Attila was playing a show 3 days later, and we got the weeknight. You know what I mean? And they had the Saturday, so it was like a lot of bands were busy playing those shows, opening up for that big tour, and then we had a harder time finding bands in some of these cities. So that could have been a reason for Denver. I really want to hit Denver again, though.
Yeah, let me know what you
do.
do.
We'll hit it again.
We're
gonna hit them all again.
Yeah.
Cupertino, Silicon Valley, HQ of Apple. Okay.
Oh,
more you know.
There we go.
Yeah. Grumpy was at the Seattle show. Seattle, man. What's your experience playing music in Seattle, buddy? Because I'll tell you what, these last 3 shows we just did with I Declare War, they're like a bigger. I don't know if you probably.
I've heard them. Yeah.
Oh, you have heard them?
Yeah.
They turned up like big time, and it just goes to show you like this was a small support run.
Chop Suey?
No, we played at El Corazon, which was probably a little. If we would have played Chop Suey, I think it would have been better because it's a little small, intimate.
Yeah.
Because El Corazon's a weird room. Have you ever been there?
I haven't been there yet.
It's like a rectangle floor.
Oh, okay.
It's like long, and everybody hangs out over here at the bar in this little pocket right here. And I was like trolling them. I was like, "Get out from the bar. You've been drinking. Come through."
That's me. Same shit.
Yeah, and so they did eventually, and it turned up, and it was the best performance we've ever had in Seattle.
There you go.
This time showed up like any show we've ever played in Seattle, and I think it was because we had a bigger band with us, and I think that speaks to kind of some of the stuff we were talking about in text about like the Northwest in general. In like the 2 major cities, I guess, Portland and Seattle. Yeah, it's like you gotta fucking already be an icon, like nationwide or worldwide.
And I love performing in Seattle. I love it.
I mean, I like it, but I don't. It's like they don't come out unless you're with somebody who's nationally known.
There's a reason why some national acts from Portland no longer live in Portland.
Right.
There's a reason why.
Well, and they probably weren't national acts before they lived here, before they moved out of here, or started at least touring and venturing out of here and playing in different places, you know. Yeah. And I get a lot of bands we meet, you know, our homies in Texas, our homies in New York and stuff. Right. They're like, "Dude, we got to get a show. We're trying to get out to your neck of the woods." And I'm like, I would put your efforts everywhere else, and then when you're big, you can come here and make some money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's I wish I could say a different situation about it. I just can't. We live in a weird place where the whole rest of the country thinks we're a music city, and we're like, there's a lot of good artists.
There's a lot of good artists here for sure.
But for some reason, the tapping into the market is just weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And I'm not here to demonize.
No,
shit on the music scene here. But it is. I know it's not just metal.
No.
And if anything, metal probably has an edge. Maybe rock and metal. I don't know. I would say it's probably easier for me than it is for you.
There's a wide edge. There's a wide edge. There's a
wide edge. There's a lot of white people here.
But
there's a lot of white people who listen to hip hop.
Absolutely.
And I love hip hop.
Very much true.
You go to a Freddie Gibbs show, everybody's white.
I mean, I was
Remember
there.
when we went? We went together.
Yeah. Hawthorne.
Yeah. And it's always a white crowd.
It is always a white crowd.
But,
but it's like what it is.
But I think music does transcend race, though, and can.
It definitely, I think.
But there's a lot of like people here that like Killer Mike. It's like I feel like there's like I don't know. It's like a lot of white people like certain rappers, right?
Right. It's funny when it's like the Run the Jewels people.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
yes. Thank you.
I'm not here to diss.
We probably don't agree on every artist. But.
There's like certain.
But I feel the same way about that shit.
And again, everyone has their right to their opinion and who they like, and that's
music
cool.
is subjective.
And when someone's like, just say you're at a bar.
Yeah, I listen to Run the Jewels.
Yeah, I'm just like, RTJ, da da da. I'm like, you lost me already.
Yeah.
I love. Growing up,
LP is great.
Yeah,
and Killer Mike is a great dude. And he's just not my sound. I don't like it. It doesn't sound real to me. It doesn't sound like authentic to me for some reason. Maybe I don't know what real is. I don't know.
You gotta. I think you might have to listen to some of his like solo stuff.
Maybe I do need to listen.
Crazy.
I think the only Killer I found out about Killer Mike through
RTJ
through Run the Jewels, and I never really liked that stuff for some reason. And that was right around the time that was when I was working at Mike Thrasher Presents. They were booking all these artists I'd never heard about.
I was working at Intel,
and you remember Zoe.
Yes.
From Mike Thrasher Presents that used to work there in the office with me. She loves all kinds of hip hop, and she just loves all kinds of music.
Yeah.
And so she would always be like, Taylor, you should listen to this. That's how I found like Freddie Gibbs. That's how I found a lot of these. Because where do you find music? Like we were talking about, where do you find music, right? She's booking these artists, and she's trying to stay, right, like have one foot in the underground, I guess, or whatever, and on the upcoming, what's going on Tiny Desk and all this shit, or whatever, and it's like she showed me like Run the Jewels, and I was like, I don't know about this. I just don't. And then why is it that it attracts it does attract. It attracts a very like plaid, dingy beanie type of folded beanie,
the crowd. Not even folded beanie, dingy, like dingy been in the dryer, has lint balls on that motherfucker still. Like it's a certain fan base that loves IPAs.
It's a white coffee shop fan base.
It's.
Maybe not. Maybe that's
I'm
too
talking
general.
shit, but that's what I'm best at.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep on talking my shit.
That's what we're doing on the podcast. We're talking shit.
And it's like, it is what it is. Separately, love them. Like grew up, especially coming from the South, like, Dungeon Family, Outkast, Killer Mike, all that. Great. LP, Def Jux, Company Flow, like, it's fantastic.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, I just never.
Wasn't it kind of drum and bass heavy?
I think they were taking some risks. They were taking some risks, but not. I won't even say drum and bass heavy.
I gotta listen to it again. Maybe.
Maybe
I gotta listen. You gotta that is another thing too.
You gotta revisit some things.
You gotta revisit stuff. Yeah, because I always be finding myself say that I don't like something.
Then you go back and listen,
and then I go back and like
I was hating a little bit. Maybe I was hating.
Maybe I was being a hater.
Yeah, maybe I was hating.
Yeah,
I'm the biggest hater. So it's like
you just gotta be willing to.
You gotta
say
admit the hate.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you gotta. Hey, I was wrong.
Right.
But I tell you what, if I were to go back and listen, I'm not gonna be wrong about
on that one.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's still the heavy IPA.
What was the thing that Premier did recently that was cool-ish?
I mean, Prime,
Royce, and Premier. That was right around the Run the Jewels thing.
It was,
and it was almost like he saw them doing it. And was like, "Are we gonna do something then?" Because it had Royce to 5'9".
Royce and Prime. I mean, Royce is one of the best lyricists
name
to ever walk the place. I can't even talk.
The planet.
Yeah, the planet. Walk the place and the planet.
And Premier is on famous songs that you didn't know about. He was on.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
He doesn't
of
even.
shit.
He somehow is not credited enough.
Christina Aguilera.
It's almost like he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be famous. It's like he doesn't want to be famous. Like he doesn't want to be Kanye famous.
I get it. Okay, so
because he doesn't. It's like some stuff. Like you don't even know that this Premier was behind this.
Right. You know LCD Sound System, right?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. There's a documentary called "Shut Up and Play the Hits."
Okay.
You need to watch that.
Shut Up and Play the Hits.
Yeah, you just I'm not gonna tell you shit about it. Okay. Just watch it and you'll have such an appreciation.
Is it about the old school DJs and shit like that?
No, it's about LCD Sound. Basically, it's about this band that like they didn't really get popular until their like mid-30s, almost early 40s. And I just remember a couple scenes sticking out and talking about how I never wanted to be so famous to where I can't walk to my local grocery store,
right?
Type of things, and just like what that's like, and what dealing with fame in a seasoned age, to where a lot of things could make sense, but then also you're like, damn, now like putting yourself in that place, and then just hearing that, it's just it all makes sense. So definitely watch.
I'll watch that. You'll have to give it to me. What's it called?
Shut Up and Play the Hits.
Is it on Netflix or anything?
That's where I seen it at years ago. I mean,
dude, I went through this phase when I was working at Thrasher Presents. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a weird road that kind of brought me back to hip hop.
Yeah.
And this was probably right before I met you.
Okay.
And so, which is why when I heard your music at the time that I did, it was so impactful to me, because I think for a long time, I just, not even meaning to, I was just like, I was a young metal kid that was in that headspace. Yeah. I was guilty of if it, if it didn't have blast beats and breakdowns in it, I didn't want to fucking hear it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't metal. It wasn't hard. don't give it to me.
Was it
you know
metal?
what I mean?
It didn't matter.
Because there was a time when I was growing up, and like I always remember it as like the Napster days after Napster went paid. Mm-hmm. You know, my mom didn't want me downloading illegal music because she didn't want me to go to jail.
Right.
And so she
was
would
a
buy
real
me
talk.
Napster gift cards for my birthday, and or iTunes, and I would go and like pay for
That was
shit.
a
Right.
real conversation.
And this was when I was this was like when like Get Low was hot. Lil Jon was hot. You know what I mean? Like, and that was on my playlist, and like Sean Paul, and like, you know, that 90s throwback era.
Yeah.
Or not 90s,
Like
early 2000s. Yeah, mid 2000s.
2005, 2006.
Yeah, like the 2000s, you know, hip hop that they shouldn't have been playing at our dances in high school because they didn't understand it, but they were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so, but and at that time, I was like, it was like I learned later in life that I needed to tap back into the person I was musically as a listener then, because I was so open-minded. I had Fall Out Boy, I had Korn, I had Gorillaz. Oh, the Fall of Troy's like my favorite band ever.
Fall of Troy,
right?
Come on, man,
they're so good.
Less Savvy Fade,
they're
like
so
the
good.
List goes on and
right.
on.
And so I was like I think after high school, after, you know, going through some friend groups, I figured out that I need to stop being this like metal elitist asshole guy, right?
Bit,
you know what I mean? And just go back to like let myself like shit. It's okay to like fucking Fall Out Boy and death metal. You can like it all.
You can like it all, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some now. Still, that asshole comes out in me sometimes. Sure, there's certain artists where I'm just like, oh man, I can't even take your music taste serious now. Right, but that's just being a dickhead. Right, on my end. So.
But at the end of the day, it's like you got to stay open minded genre wise. But anyway, when I was working at Mike Thrash Presents, we used to listen to. I had a little speakers on my desk, and I would listen to KMHD online. All day. And so I had been in this metal zone, not necessarily so negative about like, you know, fuck other music, but just so hyper focused because I was doing the band thing that I was like not even I wasn't doing maintenance on listening to enough hip hop. I wasn't listening to enough other shit. You know what I mean? I was just listening to like progressive metal, like Periphery, or you know what I mean, like Animals as Leaders. You know what I mean? And like these proggy instrumental things, and like I was so down the prog, you know, hole that I was like not paying attention, and it was like years went by and I didn't really pay attention to hip hop or pop music or what was hot, which I feel like it nowadays. I pride myself. I always try to have a leg in, like, even if it's not great, like what's on the radio, like just know a little bit, like what are people listening to, you know what I mean, what do people think is good, and I'll be like, oh, that's or sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's good, you know what I mean, and but so I started listening to jazz radio.
It's amazing.
Just jazz radio. And then I started getting into, like, I started going back and listening to these producers that, like, I didn't know anything about, like Premier and Pete Rock. And, you know what I mean? I started getting into, and there's one more, Dilla. Right?
JD, man.
Yeah.
That's my favorite producer of all time.
And, I mean, he's got, talk about a mountain of music.
Ooh, that's another one crazy. Where you're like, if you go and look at his credits, you're like, I mean, I've done it because I'm a fucking JD. I would
love to learn more about that stuff, but he's just been touched everything great.
From Janet Jackson to Busta Rhymes.
Who did Amy Winehouse?
Rock. What song? Like,
no, like her biggest. I think he did Rehab and shit. Like he did all her biggest shit.
I don't think so. We'd have to look. Can we fact check that?
Maybe Grumpy can look up who produced Amy Winehouse's Rehab and all those songs, because it was the guy that did TLC. I'm pretty sure. Was that Premier? No, that was Premier. No, it couldn't have been. It wasn't Premier.
No.
I thought he did Crazy Sexy Cool.
Preem did. I'm probably wrong. I want to say Dallas Austin. I'm losing my music card right now. And that's
I can't remember.
It's but okay. Preem did Christina Aguilera. I can't remember which album, but he produced. What was it?
Lucky Her.
We're gonna have Grumpy. Have Grumpy look that up as well. But Preem did some stuff on a Christina Aguilera album that was incredible. It was around the you remember A. Marie, Just One Thing?
I don't know. Top of my head, no. If I heard it, probably.
Yeah, if you heard it, you would know. It's this one thing that got me living. If you heard the beat, you would know. Okay. Anyway, so there's a specific time. It's this window. It's like 06, 07. And Preem did Christina Aguilera's main single. Like, it was nuts. And it was just one of those, like, that just like music fan, like hip hop fan moment where
it's like a justification of like
it's just like, yo, this is one of my favorite producers, and Christina Aguilera's hit single is produced by him right now.
They can do anything,
and it's just cool, and that's the thing where like you get in this elitist mindset. It's just like, the backpacker era where like kids are like, yo, we don't listen to Jay. That's mainstream. We don't listen to this.
You got to educate me. What is this?
So backpack era is just, just like,
what does that mean?
Like,
I've never heard that.
All right. So basically it's like the kids, you got your paint in the bag. You got your weed in the bag, whatever. You're moving, you got, and it's just like some underground hip hop shit.
Okay.
That was like the backpacker era.
Okay. Like she listened to skateboarding.
Yeah, exactly.
To cause some mischief.
Like say like MOP to like an Aesop Rock, other and there were kids that be like, yo, like say I loved Jay-Z growing up, and they would get mad and be like, yo, that's some like mainstream shit. It was,
Did you love Jay-Z growing up?
Absolutely, yeah. And so you fast forward from that to now where it's just like, man, anything goes. Just make good music.
Right.
At the end of the day, just make good music and it's all good.
Right.
I don't know. I don't make the rules, but like good music is
Which good is subjective, like we've talked about multiple times already, but it's like it has a couple requirements, right?
Absolutely.
Like it has to sound good.
It has to sound good.
Has to have that ring to it.
Yeah, it has to sound good. I think the sign, all right, so what's your sign of a good outside of metal? What's your sign of a good song? Like, what's your quintessential sign of a good song?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really been asked that before. It's a good thing to think about, and I think it's probably something that constantly changes. But
because for some people it's the chorus. For some people,
like the hook or
the
whatever.
chorus,
which
the hook,
maybe
the
I'm
bridge,
kind of I'm kind of the same about.
That's for sure me. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. You just mean generally speaking, not genre wise. It probably does change genre.
Yeah, not genre wise. Just hearing the song, because for me,
I think a lot of it maybe because I'm a lyricist person in the band. I think not even the lyrics. Like I'm one of those that don't care. I like stupid hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like just the flow of the lyrics, I think is important to me.
Cadence.
Yeah. The cadence,
the
rhythm of it. Because I come from I playing drums as like a background and tapping on my desk.
So
so the way they cut it up, you know. Which is why I like, people like Freddie. I like his flow. I like your flow. You know what I mean? I like the way certain people flow, and it's the same with metal vocalists too. Like a lot of people are really hyper focused on like what kind of or what kind of sounds can they make? Which I'm like, I can make all the sounds. So it's like I'm not really worried about the sounds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And to be, you've been a hater. You've been honest about being a hater too. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of a hater even on some of the popular guys where I'm like, I could be making those sounds. Like, I've been making those sounds for 10
exactly.
years.
I've been making those sounds for 25 years.
I've been making those sounds for
27 years.
Like Tom Segura with Steven Seagal. I've been flying helicopters like 27 years. You know what I'm talking about?
Skippy. Skip. Come on, man.
And we saw Tommy Buns together too.
We did.
That was fun.
We did.
We've been to some shows.
You put me on the Tommy Buns, bro.
And you took me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Didn't you have the extra ticket?
Yeah, I had the extra ticket. Yeah, bro.
Man, that was fun. I think it's more what I really get excited about when I hear a metal vocalist or any kind of music with vocals in it.
Right.
Is the kind of cadence and flow. And I feel like when I'm listening to instrumental stuff, they're almost, now that I'm really hyper focusing on it, thinking about it, to answer your question, I think there needs to be something like that. If it's instrumental, like Animals as Leaders, he's always got a lead going that's filling that hole where there could be vocals, or a drum fill, or some kind of a part musically that's driving, that kind of is being the vocalist at one time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those like instrumental prog metal bands that like Pliny. I don't know. You listen to Pliny?
No, I'm not.
I think I might have showed it to you at some point. Or Chon.
Chon.
Yeah. So they got all kinds of wheelie.
Didn't the lead singer leave, or like something happened?
No, they never had a sing. Oh, they
had like a lead. Like
they had they had a bass player who sang on a few songs. And they kicked him out for some.
Okay, right. That's what it was.
Probably fucking did some bad shit. Who knows?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Metal people be out doing wild shit. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not a genre thing.
No, it's not a genre thing. It's definitely it isn't. There's some. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, let's just a little closer.
Sam getting back. No, it's all good.
It's all good. Is the chair leaning back? Because I can lock it.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Okay,
you're just like, wait. I'm like, should I raise mine?
No,
you're
good. No, well, I'm on a stool. So you'll see me. I need to get another. That's my chair, but I give the guest my chair because I want the guest to be comfortable.
It's comfy. Yeah.
And so
that's why I keep leaning back.
I sit on the stool because I need to focus on my posture anyway. And so here, I actually can. I can come down. I can come down a little bit.
A little wind down. Okay,
I can do a little wind down. I think. Am I winding up or down? I don't know. I like these little stools though.
Oh, but cat's back. There we go. Oh, woke up from the nap.
Oh, I'm surprised the cats haven't jumped up on the table yet.
Been great.
But yeah, I don't. What about you though? What's So that's my thing, is like the vocal cadence. Probably if I'm really thinking about something, or like if it's not a vocal cadence, then the guitar's doing it, or something else. The sample, the lead. You know what I mean? But for you, what is it for you that constitutes a good song? What's the prerequisite?
So if vocally speaking, a good chorus, good bridge, then also some ear candy things, like some really cool backups. Okay. I love that. Thank you. And then on an instrumental level, like if it's like a really good breakdown, give me a nice breakdown. Doesn't have to happen every time. Give me a nice breakdown, some cool drum fills, and I'm in. Yeah, like real simple. Like if I hear something and then get stuck in my head, I'm like, okay.
What's some metal shit that you've heard recently that you really liked? Whether it's new or old, just that you heard recently.
Damn, who did I just start? Oh, what are they? I gotta look. I have to look at my phone. Let me see. Damn, what is that band called? I can't think of. Well, I mean, I won't call them metal. Inclination, you heard that?
Inclination? No.
I'll put you on.
All right.
Really tight. Definitely a fan of them. I don't know. I haven't. Where do you
find metal stuff? Because you don't hang out around a ton of metal. Am I like one of your metal friends?
No, I mean you're definitely one of them.
You have a couple?
I have some metal. Okay. I have some metal homies, but honestly, bro, like Twitter. Yeah. Twitter. People will, they'll retweet something.
I'm not on Twitter, like, man. I should be. I should be, but I'm just not. Because I feel like I'm already on enough toxic social media accounts.
IG's dying out. Get out of there. IG's dying.
Abandoned shit.
I mean, it's whatever, but
I'm like on Twitter. If I'm promoting something, I'll post on all three.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not hanging out.
And it's not even necessarily a hangout. It's just I'll see stuff because now you can you can choose what you want to see.
Oh, that's so great.
Like I'll have like art, some basketball shit,
stuff that doesn't give you anxiety.
Exactly.
Like the news.
Yeah, exactly. Music shit. So then I'll see RTs of these random bands and videos. I'm just like, oh, that shit's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna listen to that.
Right.
Like that's how I discovered Turnstile, for instance. Okay. Like somebody RT'd them and it was a Hate 6 video in 2015. And I was like, yo, these guys are crazy. So yeah, like honestly, Twitter.
All right.
A lot of the time.
I need to fucking That's that new.
It's the new.
That's
old.
the new blog spot.
It's the new old.
That's
like,
the new
honestly,
blog spot.
That's the new
it's
blog spot.
Finding music.
That's crazy. That's not really a thing now. That's crazy to me.
Bro, blog spot
that
was
the
so
thing.
hard. I fucking miss, like, in the deathcore world, it was deathcore is sexy.
Yeah.
And total deathcore.
Total deathcore. Yeah.
You know about this? You were on the deathcore
Bro.
game back in the day. Yeah. So you were on the shit.
Yeah.
You know
yes,
what's
sir.
up. That was where it was at. That's
Yep.
where you found, and we would check it the way we check Facebook now.
Mm-hmm.
We would get up.
All
we would take our morning shit.
Yeah.
And then we would get on the laptop on
Instant
the family
shower.
computer.
Yeah.
And go to Deathcore Sexy or Total Deathcore and look to see what was on there.
And if
Shout out Total Deathcore.
Yeah, for real. For me, if it wasn't on there, I would type whatever the band name was, and Plixid. Do you remember Plixid?
Plixid?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Exactly. Just pretend it doesn't exist. This place was incredible.
Really?
Plixid was incredible. I was
database for just everything.
Everything. It popped up just like a normal ass site. And you could, any album I looked for, I found it. And if I didn't find it, it's because of my human error and I missed the media file. I didn't get it in time.
Okay.
But, it.
Plixit.
It never happened though.
It never happened. It's not around.
Around.
Don't type it in your web browser.
Don't type it in your browser. It might. I don't know. It might still be there.
But it just was a moment in time.
It was a moment in time. And there's a lot of, I'll tell you this. My BlackBerry was full of shit from Plixit. Full, like so many albums. This is when iTunes and everything is just getting going. So people are kind of like, I don't know.
Right. And so I think to go back to what we were talking about with that whole appreciation for finding music, downloading it, finding the album art, putting it on your Zune or iPod or whatever, and I feel like what is going to happen to the new generation of people is their appreciation for music. It's like they don't have to find it anymore and seek it out. I know I'm not the first person to talk about this on a podcast. Right. I'm not trying to fucking reinvent the wheel here.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what is their appreciation for music? Looking at the cat. She's looking at Uncle. She's looking at Uncle Ep over here.
Like, what's going on? What are you guys
I haven't
doing?
been in your lap in a few months.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been like a year.
But yeah, I've like, what is the new generation? They don't care about music as much as we did. Do they?
I definitely
or maybe
think
a different way.
Like,
cause it's just, they have so much of it at their fingertips.
The
Spotify fucking age that we're in right now, it's like so wild. And it's like, they have, what does that affect on like kids that grow up and they're 11 years old and they have a smartphone and they have Spotify and they can listen to everyone whenever on it?
If they're 11 years old right now and they love music, they're in the best time of their lives. Right. Because I feel like, imagine if we had that access as kids.
We'd be into some different shit.
It would be some different stuff, but then also the level of snobbery would be so high.
Right.
So high. So I think this generation of kids and the next generation, I think they're in a good spot. Because if you are the kid who loves music, and there's a couple young, like my homie Sam.
Are you saying that you don't think as many kids are like music focused as maybe there were, or you think they're more than ever?
Yeah, like one of my homies Sam, he does vocals on the Bathlete record.
Okay.
Younger cat loves music, and I think that being like,
how old?
11. He's 20s. Like early 20s, and they have the pulse, and they have the advantage. So I feel like they love it and just appreciate. They definitely appreciate everything more than our generation does.
And the world is always going to be fucked up,
regardless.
And so you're always going to need an outlet.
You're going to need an outlet.
Is always,
and they're going to shows.
One of the first outlets.
They're going to festivals.
Yeah.
This shit doesn't exist to a lot of them.
Right.
I'm sure. But I definitely think that their appreciation might be more, just because the access is so high. We had to literally wait for a song to download on a damn computer or an album. Internet. It would take 2, 3, 4 days sometimes.
Think about that till you mentioned it. Yeah.
That was really a thing that would happen. I remember, meeting up with the crew. Before that, downloading the album, it might be at 80-something% by the time I got back. Say it was after a game or something. It was after the high school football game.
Sure. So you go.
That shit's like at 80% still.
Yeah.
So now you're just like, oh, I want to make this playlist. Now 2 seconds, they have the whole playlist before their friends.
And the algorithm's got a playlist made for you that has all the shit that you want to hear on it.
You
anyway.
type in yada yada boom.
Think
boom,
about that with your daily mix or whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
Because for me, since I listen to hip hop and the metal shit, they've got like a metal one. It's just got everything I want to hear.
Right.
Based on the 10 songs I've been listening to way too much recently.
Yeah.
And the hip hop thing, they got the same thing. And I have like daily mix 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And I haven't actually used those in a while. I haven't been listening to as much music as I should be. I think I should listen to more. But then again, it's like we're getting ready to do an album, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't, like we were talking about.
Sometimes it's okay to kind of close the door.
Right.
But this might be the perfect time to play that song that I want to show.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
We've been going hard, man. We fucking I think we've done an hour and a half on this one. How long do you think we were going before it shut down?
At least 45.
At least 45?
Yeah.
Dude, we're turning it up right now. It's
Yeah.
great. I love talking to you, man. I'm
Always.
really glad you came on. I'm glad
Thanks
you
for
came
having
on.
me.
And it worked out perfect because we haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So
It's just
the other
natural
people
conversation.
The other people I've had on that I had in person are people I talk to every other day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Here,
So I guess I'll
hear this.
I'll quick intro.
Yeah, no, tell us about it. So this song is called Jeans.
This song is called Jeans. This is from the upcoming Bathlete EP. Did not mean to pop my knuckle, but here we are. It popped. And I'm really proud of this, and I feel like we need to go to homie's house. You know the house I'm talking about. And bump this John on that
the big
system.
speakers at Garrett's house.
Yo.
Yes. On the subwoofer.
Yes.
Okay.
On the subby side.
We can do that whenever you want.
Yeah.
So. Jeans. You listen to Jeans by Bathlete.
Yeah.
This is my first time hearing this too.
Showing up at these weird times, had to hit that full speed that I
Squash.
Had to pull up like skirt, head up in the clouds with my mind with the birds. Make a fuck what you heard, I'ma slide through the dark. Leaping to the bed, let the brain go berserk, hell's on to the park. Never comprehend with the mints of the wires. Did I really make a lot of this anymore? Walkers be doing them zans, oh. Evil friends making them plans, oh. Toasting out cheers to the band, oh. Never catch me slap at the repeat. Sit it down, making moves that I've been weak. Out of sight, out of dodge, going big speed. You gotta get into the green like a big speed.
Why must you act like shorty but shorty? Living my proof what you can do for me. It's shut the hell when grown folks at your day walk in my shoes. I'm built in the fortress beside these bones that I've been collecting. Big shit, small talk, white step kid. So long on the day, it's impressive. You don't even know about the ties I've been stepping. All for the sea, put the line in between. Pick a town for my thoughts, fit it up to the scene. Just a feel for the day, say goodbye to your dreams. Hear me, here we go, triple on double, dribble the beam. To be honest, you never meant nothing, so please tell me why should I care when your vision's impaired? We pull up on you niggas like bullies in Paris. You really should stop, cause it's getting embarrassing. Tell me how you been, I've been working back at home. World is full of sin, I ain't making on my own. I put my jeans on one leg at a time, I say I put my jeans on one leg at a time. I put my jeans on one leg at a time, I say I put my jeans on one leg at a time.
One leg at a time. Jeans, baby. One leg at a time.
That's it.
I love wordplay shit like that.
Yeah. Me as well.
That was lit.
Thank you, bro.
Oof.
Thank you.
It just keeps getting better and better too. I've been following you for years and just listened to your music for a long time, and it just gets better and better. Is there another one we can listen to? Is that it? Is that do we have permission? Do we have any more permission?
Let me see if there's more.
That was hard. I love Squatch too, man. He's the best.
Watching
just witnessing his progression as an artist and just as a human has been so damn cool. Like that's my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
like, that guy. Like, man, yeah. It's. I'm just so thankful to still to be a person who's never given a fuck about being in the front of anything. I just want to do my shit. Hopefully, impact some people's lives.
Oh, you're impacting.
And get the fuck out. You
right.
know, but in the background, not like out completely, but you know,
right.
do some other things.
I mean, you're a front man naturally, though. Yeah, it's okay to say it.
Okay, all right.
It's okay to say it.
Yeah,
it's okay to
you're
wear
right.
I mean, like,
naturally,
have you been to one of my shows, right?
Yeah,
have you?
absolutely.
I mean, I'm in control.
Yeah, you are.
I'm Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
When I'm on stage, I am the man.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah,
I own it. It's like the only thing I'm good at. You know what I mean? I mean, I have other things I'm good at.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm most myself, and like I'm a crowd controller. I tell them to have fun, and they have fun.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that's okay too. It's okay to it's okay to if you're born to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like I know that this is what it is because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But then also it's like making this project during the pandemic. We wanted to do something people could still have a good time. We didn't want to make because people were coming out with like sad ass pandemic songs. And I was like, yo, what the fuck are y'all? Nobody wants to be sad right now. You want to walk around and be sad?
We're already sad, dude.
Yeah, like the world is already a sad place. I don't want to hear that in my music all the time.
I feel like I came out like mad.
Yeah.
I was more angry about my music.
Yeah.
Personally. I mean, but that is
and
the
it makes
genre.
sense.
It's the genre.
It's the
but,
genre,
but specifically, I wasn't writing about fucking, you know, fairy tales and and metal shit. I was writing fuck you shit at the at everybody. You know what I mean? And so, you know, that's where it was like so much shit went down. It's like how are you gonna come out of that? I guess a lot of people were sad. So if that's the way they want, and I get that. They want it, I get what you're saying though.
You know what I mean?
But the
like,
sad
no
boy movement blew up, kind of right around the pandemic time. But you know what I'm talking about? Like the little peep, fucking, you know, XXX, you know, Tentacion, stuff, that like kind of sad boy rap. It kind of, you know, and even people like. Who's the guy that passed away? Juice WRLD. You know what I mean?
I mean, all three of those guys you just mentioned
passed
away.
Like, but
it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh
it's
my
crazy.
God, they are all dead.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But they're very that whole genre of like SoundCloud rap. You know what I'm talking about? That was huge.
Yeah, it was.
And blew up huger through the pandemic too. I think.
Way huger. Way more. Huger.
Lots of sadness going on in the music. I like how that song is upbeat. Is that the cadence for the most of the Bathlete stuff? Is it kind of all high energy?
It's.
You got another one? Do we have another one? Or you gotta ask. It's okay.
Let's see.
You gotta ask the people.
Watching. Hold on. Yeah. Here we go.
And if not, maybe another solo one even. Doesn't have to be Bathlete.
Oh, okay. You know what?
You know?
All right. Here's a solo one that is pretty fun. Zon from Bathlete produced this, and I also
here pull this up just a little closer.
1, 2, hello.
Oh yeah, you're
it's
good.
cool.
You're good.
Yeah, Zon from Bathlete. He produced the song I just sent you, and I got
Jeans. He did Jeans too.
He did Jeans as well.
The beat.
He and McNatt co-produced on Jeans. I hope I'm correct on that. If not, Josh, if you're in the chat, Josh, tell me. I could be wrong.
It's probably hard to remember.
It is because they're all. I mean, they're crazy. It's wild. But so Zon did this beat. This is on my forthcoming album, and I got scratches from my boy DJ Flip Flop.
Shame on me. I think I probably heard this.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Maybe
it's possible.
I don't think I have. Such an unorthodox beat. I love that. I love that about your style. You do a lot of unorthodox beats. Cadences.
Up all night like what is sleep, I know they sipping calling. Crawling up from out the sheets, I never heard of love. Back me in a corner and ain't nothing I've been walling. Running out of sheep to count them in a holler. Shame on me, 45 it ain't on me. Batting average going up and playing in the major league. Shame on me, 45 it ain't on me. Something got them going up, no shaking hands, ain't nothing sweet. Whoa, if I don't really know you, then you ain't gon' get close. And got something for you if you're ready, here it go. Cup and feeling empty, need that remedy potion. Screws loose a little better, kept your notes, Giuseppe's when I'm stepping out without a doubt. I'm Roger, try me talk box. Bet you gonna feel me for you see it. Got them coming in, on the scene, retro 10, I'm on it 10. Post up, cackle out the country, Joey D is where to go. No idea, but I won't stop. Moving target, riches, shop at Target.
Did you say Joey Diaz, where'd I go? Stop it. You are amazing.
On the revolution, I've been building with my
New Jersey.
On some out of town, winning down, lock it down, make your rounds quick. What if I told them not to do it, cause they don't make it like this? Copyright infringement, living, pay me for my likeness. Talk it out, you trifling. Watch me walk it like this, here it go.
Oh! That shit is so fire. Thank you, bro.
Whatever, please, you move it easy. Just be yourself and take some time. Now here we go. Come on down, the sun is out. We keep it cool and running wild. The music low.
And that's it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Hell yeah.
This is some other shit that people aren't supposed to be hearing yet. That was a oopsie.
That was good. Oopsie.
That was a oopsie.
Hey, we're here now.
Brought to you by Apple Music app. Oopsie. You guys didn't hear that. It's fine. You'll hear it soon. That was fire though. Holy shit.
Thank you.
What's
bro.
that song about? Just random shit.
Just a little braggadocio.
Which I think you should do. You should do more of.
I do. I do a lot of.
You do a lot of it. Okay.
Stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I've always done it in a slick way, but now I'm just like, I never wanted to really do that because it's like I know I'm nice at this and I really do this. And
right.
I
you
know
have
that
you have the chops.
Yeah, but it's just like now I'm like, all right, I can do that and have fun with it and not go over the top. But yeah, that one there's definitely like shame on it. Like I'm here and this is what it is and y'all gonna have to deal with me one way or another. Like it's not going anywhere.
I think that's a perfect place to end this monster of a podcast. I think we just did a crazy 2 hours. I could keep bullshitting with you forever, and we'll do another episode with Squatch when I get a better interface and I can have 3 people here.
Shit, the whole crew maybe somewhere.
Someday
do it at my house, whatever.
Yeah, I'm down.
We can do that.
But I love you, brother.
I love
Thank
you
for
too,
coming on the podcast and talking to me and showing us some unreleased shit.
Yeah.
Plug yourself. Plug what you're doing. Follow this man.
Follow
on the internet,
me
on the web,
on the Instagram.
Where do you want people to follow you? On Instagram?
Yeah,
Twitter?
Instagram. FFM on Twitter.
Bathlete Radio.
Bathlete Radio on Twitter and Instagram. Be on the lookout, man. We got some really cool things in store, and yeah, man.
And like you said, you're here. And you're killing the game, so deal with it.
It's
I mean. It's okay to brag a little bit sometimes.
Yeah,
it's okay to let the people know.
See, now off track, I'm not as much
we,
that
we
guy.
all know what you're like.
Yeah.
We just
but
spent some time on it. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. And we're gonna go hit the hot tub.
Yeah,
now it's time to relax. Now it's time to relax. Thank you guys. I'm gonna.